Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? It's your boy JB here on a Saturday, and we've got preseason week 2 here, the Bills versus the Browns here. And so for both of these two teams, today's narrative is going to be a little different here. For Buffalo, it's all about letting the backups go in there, get some playing time. We won't see much of the starters there for the Buffalo Bills in this one. But for the Cleveland Browns, this is the chance for Shador Sanders to get the start today here. He'll play the first 2 quarters in this one. Obviously, he's in a quarterback competition against Deshaun Watson. We saw Watson get the start last week there against the Bears. So now we're going to see how does Shador go out there and look today. And quite frankly, if he's going to win this job, he's going to have to go out there and have a strong outing today. Let's see if that happens here for Shador Sanders here. And in the third quarter, we'll get to see Deshaun Watson, who, of course, also has to finish strong there to try to secure the spot there for the starting job. We'll see how that plays out. But you guys let me know in the comment section here, who do you guys think is going to win this quarterback competition for the Cleveland Browns? Will it be Shador Sanders or will it be Deshaun Watson? You guys let me know. But first things first, we've got Mr. JB in the building here, and he says it's a great day for football. Absolutely correct here. Good amount of teams playing early in this one. I know that Detroit and Washington, they're almost at halftime. They're tied up 7-7. They've got about 2 minutes left to go in that game. I know that the Commanders starting quarterback, he did get the start in that game. Not sure his actual stats there, but I know he did start in that one. But here we go. It is time for kickoff now. So finally, it is that time. And so, Samuel, what's good? And Samuel says, hey, how are you doing today? JB is doing great. You know, JB had a chance to go out there, get that workout in today, so I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Samuel? All right, so there we go. See what Buffalo has in store and who they bring out here to quarterback for them. It won't be Josh Allen today for the Buffalo Bills, but let's see who they do have. And they've got another Allen here. I believe this is Brandon Allen, if I'm not mistaken. Coming in here, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. They're their backup quarterback. All right, so now they're going to go ahead and put him up under center here. So you've got two tight ends, two receivers, one back in the backfield from their own 25-yard line. Receiver goes in motion here for the Buffalo Bills. Going to hand to the back in the back, up the middle, fighting, still standing on his feet. Excellent job there, keeping his balance and fighting through contact to pick up 9 yards. That should have been a 4-yard carry, but he turned it into 9 yards. That's the kind of effort coaches want to see out there on the football field. Now, let's see, Samuel says doing pretty good, but it's hot weather out there in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. It's pretty hot out here as well, especially when I was making my way to the car from the gym. So yeah, extremely hot. All right, so this time we're going to go shotgun here. They need 2 yards to pick up the first down here. Fakes the toss, throws it over through the tight end there, but there's going to be a penalty because he was all over Dawson Knox on that play. You just can't do it. So that should be an automatic first down to work with there for the Buffalo Bills. They will gladly take the penalty. And again, a foul on Watson on defense. All right, so after the penalty, gifting Buffalo with the first down on the play. They've got the ball here from their own 36-yard line. Davis is the back in the backfield, Ray Davis. All right, quarterback up under center here again. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 back in the backfield. It's going to be another run play, and this time Davis, look at the burst in which he's playing with out there. You got to like it. It looks like he's not hesitating right here. And if that translates over to the regular season, that would be a great thing for him because I feel like the few times he did get carries last year, you didn't see that kind of explosiveness, but look at him attack out there offensively. All right, let's see. Samuel says he's ready for the fall weather or cold. So Samuel's like, get him out of this heat. Hey, I feel you there. I feel you there. All right, 2nd and 6 now for the Buffalo Bills from their own 40-yard line. Quarterback up under center here. Play fake. Looking to pass, throws it, and gets the completion. The receiver gets both feet in bounce, and that's a great play right there. And again, that was to Sherfield for the reception. One catch for 18 yards there. And that is Kyle Allen that threw the pass there, quarterbacking right now for the Buffalo Bills. So, yes, it's not Josh Allen. This is Kyle Allen in there. And his first pass attempt for 18 yards on the play. Here in the first quarter on the opening drive here for the Buffalo Bills in this one, can they get points? Right now, they are moving it. Shotgun formation this time. But wait a minute, we've got a stoppage of play here. So Samuel said he is ready for it to cool off out there in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Speaking of which, what in the world? I mean, look at the weather pouring down there. And again, if you're listening in, JB cannot listen to the audio to determine what's going on out there, but it seems like we've got a weather delay. So I'm assuming that there was lightning found near the game, which means that there is now a weather delay. So how about that? JB sure picked a good one. Let's see, Samuel said you got 149 subs. Oh man, okay. So you're almost at 150 now. Who's gonna put Samuel at 150? That is the question. And again, if you're just tuning in right now, we actually are experiencing a weather delay for this game between the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns right now. So we will wait and see what takes place. But again, they must have found lightning in the nearby area because the players went to the locker room and fans evacuate as well. That's our luck, right? So yeah, weather's certainly going to be a big factor here. And you think about what this game means here for the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, you're auditioning to see who's going to be your starting quarterback here. Will it be Shador? Will it be Deshaun? And then to have a weather delay like this, who can, assuming that they do get to resume this game, who can actually, take advantage of this situation? Let's see. But while that is the case, let's see. So looking around some of the other games, so the Commanders and the Detroit Lions, they're both tied 7-7 at that game. Baltimore and Minnesota, they're still 0-0 early first quarter in that one. You've got Atlanta versus Indianapolis currently, and first quarter, 12 minutes. So they're just early in that one. Atlanta's got the football 0-0. But yeah, as you can probably see, those of you that are watching the game there, but all the players currently having to leave, and it is due to lightning in the area. So got to take those precautions seriously. Let's see. Welcome again, Samuel, from your second channel. You said you've got 51 subs here on the second channel there. So, okay, so if you combine the two, you're basically at 200 total subs between the two channels. Nice. All right, and again, if you are just listening in right now, it is currently a weather delay in this matchup here. And let's not forget that next week, we actually at this time next week, Saturday is I still call it week 0 for college football. So next week at this time, I should be streaming the North Carolina versus TCU matchup. See Bill Belichick versus TCU and what TCU looks like without Josh Hoover, because Josh Hoover's been there for a good minute, but Josh Hoover transferred from quarterback to Indiana. So next week we will get to see our very first, college football action. So I'm excited for that next week. Again, not every team is going to return next week, but enough games for us to have basically college football next Saturday. And then you've got next week also being week 3 of the preseason season. So we're going to see a lot of teams probably that haven't played their starters that much in week 2 probably go ahead and get them some real life reps here in game 3 next week. So we've got a lot coming up here. And for those of you that play fantasy football, I know you've got your fantasy football drafts taking place. So a lot of football happening. And again, we have a weather delay in this one. And again, if we do get any updates here, let JB know in the chat, as I can't actually hear the audio of the game. So that's the one thing about me streaming, is that I cannot listen to the audio, because if the audio gets caught, then YouTube will flag it. So I cannot listen to the audio of the game to see any updates regarding the weather here. Meanwhile, let me check and see on Twitter if perhaps there's any updates regarding the weather delay for this one. And again, we are just sitting here awaiting to resume the game due to the lightning delay. That being said, it's a great time to talk about the retirement of Nick Chubb, who spent majority of his NFL career with the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, he experienced a lot of injuries, but when he was fully healthy, I mean, Nick Chubb was a problem. The Browns offensively, they relied on him for so long. So if anybody wants to just talk about Nick Chubb retirement and what he meant for the Cleveland Browns organization, would love to hear, you guys thought about Nick Chubb's retirement. And again, we are waiting because of a lightning delay for the Buffalo Bills and Cleveland Browns preseason game to resume. Again, this game currently in a weather delay right now. Let's see. Samuel says, you're ready going 2 months. I'm coming soon. Mississippi State Fair in October. Man, we're getting closer and closer to it already being like October. Man, this year's gone by so fast. Like, it's like just slow down just a little bit. Tell me this, Samuel. What are some of your favorite foods and stuff that you love whenever you go to the fair? What are your favorite foods to get when you go to the fair? I see Atlanta's gotten 3 points against Indianapolis again first quarter, over 9 minutes to go in that matchup. And Samuel comes out with quite the confession there. All right, and again, we are experiencing a weather delay, so we're waiting here. I'm trying to look and see if I can find an update to see if there's any update in terms of this weather delay. Again, I'm assuming that they will resume this matchup, but odds are there's a chance that with it being a preseason game, that they probably won't if the Lightning lasts too long. But let me see, trying to see if I can find an update because I can't hear the audio on my end, so I've got to search for any news. And if anybody in the chat hears an update, feel free to drop that in the chat also. All right, so it looks like for the most part, everybody's in standby mode right now. Makes sense. So we will see what takes place moving forward. And again, Buffalo was actually moving the football there. Kyle Allen was in there at quarterback, and they were doing a pretty good job. I like what I was seeing from Ray Davis early on with his carries as well. And it looked like they were pretty much on their way to score. And again, it was raining pretty hard out there also, but safety comes first, cannot risk it, not just for the players, but for the fans as well, especially the preseason game there, so definitely taking precautions there due to the lightning that they experienced out there for that matchup. But again, for anybody that's watching that does want to talk about, just the fact that things like whether it's the quarterback competition that's taking place, who do you guys want to see win the starting job here for the Cleveland Browns? What have you guys seen so far this preseason for the Cleveland Browns to lead you to believe that either one would be a better option here? Do you want to see Watson go out there? Or do you want to see Shador out there at quarterback? And then also just simply having the fact that someone like, Nick Chubb, his retirement, what does that mean for the Cleveland Brown fans out there? And again, we are just waiting to hear updates on our end. And as for Buffalo, Buffalo fans out there would love to hear what do you guys project for Buffalo this upcoming season? Do you guys have the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East perhaps? Or how do you guys feel about the Buffalo Bills this upcoming season? Is this the year that Josh Allen is able to put it together and get the chip? Or how far do you guys see the Buffalo Bills going this year? And again, anytime something like this happens, you instantly know that it derails the momentum that the Buffalo Bills were currently operating in. But man, look at that rainfall. Like just looking at that rainfall there, they are clearly going through a heavy storm. But hey, them fans, they are dedicated. I will give that to those fans there. They are dedicated. They understand what this preseason game could imply for the upcoming season. I mean, this very well could tell who's going to end up being, your starting quarterback. Can somebody step up? But in conditions like this, it's going to be really tough because, like, you have to really evaluate the entire body of work so far because the weather out there is gonna complicate things. It's gonna complicate things. We already have this delay right here. Players got to go back out there, warm back up, a lot of stuff. All right, Samuel corrects himself and says that he likes food. Okay, okay. What type of food is your favorite, Samuel? Give me a couple of your favorites. All right, Samuel says you like to eat food. You say hot dogs and funnel cake. Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Oh yeah. It's nothing like being able to go to a game and then you just get you a good hot dog or a hamburger, whatever your preference is, some fries, and just be out there and enjoy the experience. Samuel, how many different teams do you typically travel to watch them play throughout the course of the season? I know that you've mentioned Mississippi State, Mississippi, the Saints. Do you ever go to any LSU games at all? And again, we have a lot of football throughout the course of the day today. That Eagles and Patriots one, that looks interesting. I know that things have been kind of chippy between the two teams throughout the joint practices. And Brayhawk, what's good? What's good? How are you? The man of the hour, blowing up to save us from this weather delay. Let's see. Samuel says no. All right, Samuel. So you don't actually go to LSU football games there. Okay, I can't blame you. I can't blame you. My one of my rivals, he actually went to LSU and I went to Florida back in the day. So I cannot blame you there with LSU. Fun fact though, I would like to know, does anybody actually know which college football team has led, like they've had the most players that have been arrested since the year 2000. What college football program do you guys think have had the most arrests since the year 2000? Definitely not a list that you want to have your your program atop of course. Let's see. Brayhawk says, saw the changes you made with the fantasy league there. How do you feel about those changes, Braden? I know they come a couple weeks before the fantasy draft there, but I was really brainstorming and I was like, well, you know what? I want to make sure that, even though in the past, I really disliked the waiver because it just takes too long. I'm like, once I make up my mind, I want to get somebody, I want to get it. But I'm like, you know what? There are people that, are very busy that need that time. And shoot, JB's getting busy as well. So it's like, you know, just a little something to where we don't have what we typically have in the past where somebody gets injured on the spot and immediately somebody else picks up the backup. Usually I'm that person, but still. A lot more fairness in that regards. All right, Brayhawk says doing good. Bet, bet, bet. You say Florida or Georgia? I do say it's gonna be an SEC team and stuff like that, but I would have to also say Florida as much as I don't want to say Florida, but I'm thinking they're certainly got to be up there. And then having some of the alumni that I can think of, they're certainly up there. All right, so I know I had glanced at that answer earlier there, so I do have that answer though. But I'm gonna give some more time in case somebody else want to throw something else out there. So Braden's got Florida or Georgia. All right, Brayhawk says you like them. You said you already did fantasy research and got your board all set up. Hey, Brayhawk's not playing around. He's not playing around at all. And so yeah, JB's definitely got the board. I've been doing a ton of mock drafts. JB's probably done over 400 mock drafts already. I probably do about a good, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 8 a day. So JB's gonna be ready. Believe it, JB's gonna be ready. But actually, what I found interesting though, when I look at the top like arrests since 2000 for schools and stuff, like the top three is not surprising. I'll say this. I'll say this. The top three on the list since 2000, they are all located in the same state. So they are all located in the same state, the top three, which I found to be very shocking. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did think of another SEC team. I thought LSU would be a little bit higher than they were because LSU comes to mind for me a lot. Georgia's actually number 10 on the list, Braden. Georgia is number 10 on the list. So, yeah. But the number, like the top three arrests since 2000 for college football teams, at number three is Florida State, and it says about 436 arrests since then. Number two is the University of Miami on the list with 454 arrests since 2000. And then at number one, University of Florida with 539 on that list. And so that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I'm sorry. That's a lot. Like that is a lot. What's going on with the state of Florida, man? Like what's going on? Again, that's college football teams with the most arrests since 2000. So let's see. Samuel says this is an old school 1970s Ring of Fire ride. And so Ring of Fire. Okay, Samuel. I bet you Samuel be taking all kind of risk. Again, if you're just tuning in right now, we are experiencing a weather delay, and so just waiting to hear back any updates that they provide regarding when the game will be able to resume. But yeah, they are still experiencing the lightning delay. Let's see. Brayhawk says the Urban Meyer years were crazy. Yeah, I mean, insane, insane. I mean, insane. But just looking at that being the top three, all in the same state, Braden, in the same state, that's insane since the year 2000. I mean, that's crazy. Statistically, that is crazy. And then at number four was Alabama at 402. I did not think that Alabama was going to necessarily be in the top five. Like I knew that they would be top, 25, but at number four, I did not expect that at all. What I've also got to say at number five was Ohio State at number five. I I did not think we had that many, but they got us above LSU at number six, so that was a huge shock to me in terms of that. It's not a category you want to be in the top five of. All right, so as we look through that, let's see some of the other games. So right now, Indianapolis and Atlanta, they're tied three apiece, so 3-3. They're still in the first quarter of that matchup. Seems like Minnesota and Baltimore, they're still 0-0. And Washington versus Detroit, they're at halftime and they're tied 7-7. But yeah, I mean those Urban Meyer years, absolutely, it's insane. Like it's almost as if Florida was saying, like, look, we don't care about what you're doing off the field. Just try not to get arrested if you can. We just care about the talent. Like we're trying to win. That's what the state of Florida was basically saying. Like we've got the talent, we just don't have the discipline. Tell me this, Braden, if you could have for your Iowa Hawkeyes, if you guys could have any coach, who would you want to coach your Iowa Hawkeyes? Because I'm sure you'd want to make some type of change, at least offensively, at the very least. Man, JJ McCarthy is firing the ball, but it's like just going all over the place right now. Because as we wait for the Buffalo and Cleveland game to resume, and they're showing that game, I'm like, bro, he's just firing it with everything he's got in the general area. Let's see. Samuel says, "Hey JB, you said you was never right. You've never ridden the Ring of Fire. Never been on one before. This one of the old school janky fun ones. This is actually about to happen someday. First time for the first time. Okay. Well, you gotta let me know. You gotta let me know afterwards. I mean, if there's a way that you can find, I guess to add that one to, one of your videos on the channel, that'd be great and cool. But you gotta let me know how does that like what is your impression afterwards? You got to share that with us. Oh man, look at that throw that JJ McCarthy missed. The receiver literally right there. I know we're not watching that game there, but I mean, the receiver is right there, wide open. That's as open as you get in the end zone, and he just gonna rocket that one over his head. That's why he's not the starting quarterback. That's insane. All right, the game is still currently delayed due to the lightning. Just great. I see Atlanta scored a touchdown. They're up 10-3. Let's see. How did they score exactly? Is that Anthony Richardson or I can't get it up. No, that's not Anthony Richardson. And again, lightning delay here. And then whenever it is clear, the players have to go right back out there and warm up again. Got to stretch again. Well, Ronnie Leonard's out there making a couple of passes I see for Indianapolis. All right, but this question is for anybody that's currently watching right now. Who is somebody that you guys are feeling like is about to have a breakout season? Could be for any team, but you guys let me know who is someone that you guys are currently eyeing in the NFL who could have a breakout type of season this year. And if you got somebody that's under the radar, even better. I do have a couple guys this year that I am curious to see how are they going to perform this year. But these are more like question guys in my mind. Like for example, Travion Henderson. Like I've seen what he looks like when he looks good. He's got that explosiveness, of course, but I just get the feeling that it's still Ramondre Stevenson's backfield. Pass blocking is a major concern for Travion Henderson. Before he can be on the field more, he has got to fix pass blocking. But that being said, he makes, explosive plays. I do wonder if at some point they're just going to end up calling this one. I hope not. I hope not. But we will see. All right, let me see if there's any more updates on this game being delayed. Hmm. Yes, still waiting to find out if they're still going to continue with this. Wait a minute. It says the game suspended. All right, again, if anybody has an update here, trying to make sure that this game is still delayed and not actually canceled. All right, so still waiting to hear. But again, if you guys hear any updates before I see any updates in terms of the plan for this game, whether or not it's just going to stay delayed, suspended. Ooh, McCarthy did take a hit on that play, but he delivered. He delivered. Again, this game was postponed due to lightning. And judging by how it was raining down there, it was a pretty bad storm. Pretty bad storm indeed for that matchup. All right, but again, as we wait, if you guys want, let's see, today's game has been suspended due to lightning in the area. So this coming from the Cleveland Browns. Today's game has been suspended. And so we've been waiting to find out if that means this is going to be canceled or not. And again, I cannot hear the audio if they are discussing it or not. All right, trying to see if they will come up with a restart time sometime soon for us. And again, before the delay, I mean, Buffalo in that opening drive, they were doing pretty good moving the football. It really looked like they were going to come away with at least some kind of point. prior to the delay. But now you throw in the delay, obviously the players gonna have to eventually warm back up. About to say, is this just destiny just trying to prevent Shador from getting an opportunity to perhaps get the starting job at this point? We came here to watch the quarterback competition, and as of right now, we have been stuck in this waiting pattern with the game being delayed. I'll give it to the end of the hour to see if there's any update about when they plan on resuming. It was such an important game. You obviously, at some point, you still want to see these guys go out there and compete, but only once it is safe to compete. Again, one has to wonder at what point would they consider just calling it if things are so bad to where they are still, you know, in delay. And I'm sure that they're checking every couple minutes, but you got to consider the fans as well. So at some point, if it just doesn't make sense, especially for a preseason game, I don't think they're going to hold out that long. If anything, this may just end up pushing things back to next week for the QB competition. But as you guys are watching, feel free to comment in the chat section and let JB know your favorite NFL team and your projections for your favorite team this upcoming season. Let's see. Samuel says the Ring of Fire Carnival ride reaches a top of over 30 miles per hour, apparently 30 to 35, as it properly riders through a complete 360-degree vertical loop. Okay, bet. Appreciate the details there, Samuel. JB most certainly will not be getting on that for sure. Believe it. Again, if you guys come across any updates in terms of this lightning delay before JB does, just let me know. All right, and again, just waiting to try to see if we can hear anything in terms of this review. Hey, what's good? What's good? How are you? Oh man, how are you today? Hope your day is going much better than this weather delay has been over here. RC. Let's see, JB, let me know if you like the new name change. And so fancy dimes and floaters. I mean, I like it. I like it. I like it. Fancy dimes and floaters. It fits. It fits. It fits. Now RC's here to save the day, save the chat as we are stuck in this delay. And so yeah, I assume that this one's of course for the um basketball dominant channel. So, but yeah, it fits nicely. It fits nicely. And I like the profile picture too. The profile picture too. And again, a lot of all these football games on today, and JB chose the one that ended up in a lightning delay, guys. That's on JB for that. That's on me. But again, just trying to see if they have any updates on when they potentially plan on resuming. Let's see. Sammy says game at what part of Ohio they're down there in Cleveland? Mr. JB said, did you leave it with the Colts and the Falcons and stuff like that? And so with that game there, I honestly didn't even know that that I was gonna be able to see that game until it actually got started there. But I see that NFL Network is showing some highlights of that game. I see the Falcons touchdown that they scored. Let's see. So RC says, I plan to highlight a lot of assists. You said I played some point guard recreationally and in grammar. Okay, so in high school, junior college, and around the hood. So fancy cool passes is what I did the best. Okay. Okay, didn't know that RC's bag was that deep. He said I wasn't the best shooter or scorer though. One of my drawbacks. And so, hey, can't do it all, right? Can't do it all. But as long as you can specialize in something at an extremely high level, wow. Let's see, Samuel says severe thunder watch in Cleveland, Ohio. And so yeah, and my concern is the fact that obviously with it being a preseason game, they very well might just be like, you know what, let's just go ahead and call it at some point, which is why I'm really looking at sometime between 2 and 2:30. If they don't end up, giving us a new time, they're probably just going to end up just saying, well, it's a preseason game, we'll take our losses and go from there. Mr. JB says you didn't want me to see that one. Didn't want me to see that one. As soon as you said that, that's exactly what they were showing. That touchdown. Again, everybody just standing around here, but you got to go through the whole warm-up process again. Get everybody back out. See, so Archie says, but JB, let me tell you, no look, show and go passes, bounce passes around the waist, no look, around the neck passes, through the legs passes. You said you was chasing Black Chocolate Williams. Good old Jay Williams back in the day, man. Now that brings it back. That brings it back. That brings it back. They don't know about that, RC. Let's see, Black Medicine, what's good? He says delayed for what? So yeah, so there was severe lightning. The game was delayed due to lightning in the area for that one. So it's been delayed now for a good minute. It was only the opening drive that Buffalo had the football. So still be about first quarter, about 13 minutes and some change. But yeah, it was a lightning delay that took place. Let's see, Black Message says Falcons and Colts are on, I think. And yeah, they are currently on right now, and they're in the early second quarter of that matchup there. So, all right, let's see. I may have to do a trick on my end. I mean, let's see. I'm trying to get a couple more minutes to see if they are going to cancel it or not. Darcy says, JB, when it came to shooting free throws, man, I was like Shaq. He said my jump shot was on an on and off at times, but at 5'11", I don't think that they recruit that many 5'11" Shaq shooting free throws at the point guard position. Like, oh man. Let's see. You say player comparison for you is probably a broke down Mark Jackson with passing abilities of Jason Williams. Let's see. Stanley says, "Hey JB, look, Google search Cleveland, Ohio weather." And so, oh yeah, absolutely, the weather out there is insane in this one. He said, "I can always switch around like red zone." And so I know what's gonna happen though, Black Mesa. What's gonna happen is that because like I can update the title here to another game, in which I am contemplating doing that at this point, because this delay is just I don't even know if they're gonna resume this game or not. In all honesty. But I may have to do that. I may have to do that. I know that the image that I created for this stream is going to show the Browns and the Bills, so it's going to confuse people after the stream is over. But I may just have to do something like that, like JV's version of NFL preseason red zone. Let's see, Mike, what's good, Mike? Mike says thumbs you up, and so I appreciate that, Mike. How are you doing today? Let's see. RC says, but that's why Rondo was one of your favorite players. Oh man, there was nothing like when Rondo was at his peak and stuff like that. Oh man, I remember that. Now, obviously, as a Lakers fan, I despise the Celtics there, but I did like Rondo's game. Rondo was one of those people that it was just fun to watch. People like Rondo. For me, I enjoyed, prime Tracy McGrady, obviously prime Carmelo Anthony. When I think Carmelo Anthony, the Denver version of him was the funnest to watch in all honesty, but those are some of my favorite ones. And let's see, Sammy says NFL zone. Yeah, like NFL, I guess preseason zone or whatever. But seriously, I may just have to just edit the title and go from there. Oh, wait a minute. Atlanta's up 17-6. My eyes deceiving me, 17-6. Let's see, RC said, I wish I could have crossed over Black Medicine 24 years ago. Don't underestimate Black Medicine. Black Mesa says, JB, was that you that threw that item on the court in that WNBA game? JB cannot and will not take any form of credit for that. That was not JB. I thought it was RC though. I thought RC had enough. I thought it was him. But then I seen on the replay and it looked more like it was Samuel. Let's see. RC says, JB, the truth is, nowadays I ain't crossing over nothing but chocolate cake with a spoon and a fork. Hey, now don't talk about no chocolate cake right now. JB don't need to be thinking like that at all. As JB said, that's going right. The fact that the Falcons are out there winning, oh man. You said the game gonna start at 2:15 Eastern time. All right, so they did actually put. Okay, I see. Appreciate the update there. So the game will resume at 2:15 p.m. Eastern time. So, all right, we've made it this far, so we'll have to wait a good minute for it. But hey, I mean, that means more time for us to talk until then, right? Let's see. RC says someone threw it. Yeah, at least I spell. What was the funniest? I mean, obviously it was bad, all right, but seeing Angel Reese's reaction and stuff like that right there looked like, when your 3-year-old is trying to tell you this something that's like that they're spooked about or something like that, and they're like really going hard to show. Like her expression afterwards it was just it was funny, but this seems like a regular occurrence. RC, I know that this happened like last year as well. I think what game did it happen at last year? Because I feel like this is something that's happening 1 to 2 times a year during the season at this point. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I don't know what you got to do to really prevent it. Do you have to up the penalty? Because these guys are being banned from not just the WNBA but also the NBA as well and stuff like that. Although if they did that at an NBA game, yeah, you best believe half the bench is going to go up there and they are going to grab whoever did it. Let's see, Samuel says, "Hey JB, buy a Cybertruck." You want JB to buy a Cybertruck, Samuel? Are you kidding me? Nah, only RC can afford a Cybertruck. Yes, sir. He said JB Bears play Bengals tonight at 6 p.m. And so that's at 6 p.m. tonight. I wonder, is either team planning on playing their starters? I would imagine that Cincinnati probably should not play their starters in that one, but I'm curious in terms of if any of those teams plan on playing their starters there. Maybe the Bears could possibly consider it. Let's see. RC says the culprits must don't really love women's basketball, JB, because all they gonna get is banned for life, and that's exactly what they got. Not just from the WNBA, from the NBA as well. So now you're out there getting banned for life and stuff like that. I don't know what to say, RC. Man, we're in some crazy times right now and stuff like that. Like everybody's been talking about that 16-year-old girl that ran on the field and tackled that guy. What I forgot what state was that in where she just ran out there and I mean good form tackling. I mean put some shoulder pads and stuff on her and give her a helmet. But people are going crazy out there, man. This is wild. And so as I said, JB, I can't even afford the dream of cyberspace, much less a cyber truck. But he can dream of MySpace making a return. That's what he can dream of. So the man said cyberspace. I tell you what though, after this delay and stuff like that, I need to see Shador ball out, like ball out. Let's see here. RC says, my opinion, because of a lot of women like women, which to each their own. It really gets people to getting rattled. That's why you get this stuff, that stuff, and so I mean, it's crazy, man. Like it's insane, man. Like this is becoming almost a tradition at this point that somebody's about to risk it all, sacrifice it all in their final hurrah and just go out there and then just chunk it on the court. just like that. Let's see. Samuel says, "Hey, JB was New Orleans Saints jersey number 2. You got your third jersey number 32 for the Saints. I would have thought you'd have got a Drew Brees jersey. I would have thought that you would have went out there and got a Drew Brees jersey. You said you're gonna get JB a number 30 for the Saints. You gonna get me that type of jersey? Oh yeah, I remember that. Nah, I don't care how crazy you get now. Mitchell Robinson might not want to be the kind of guy that you just run up to like that. Like the guy definitely is built pretty solid right there. He's got height. That's not the first person I would run up to. Like I'm just saying. But hey, I mean, I saw it. He went up there, got the photo and stuff. Wimby was cool with it. Wimby was cool with it. I'll say that. Let's see. I see that Washington and Detroit there in the third quarter, with Washington up 10-7. Yeah, bro, thought it was all a way to throw it all away to get a selfie with Wimby. But you know what? I mean, we're just in a day and age where any type of publicity seems like a positive type of publicity and stuff like that. Like I'm seeing a lot of crazy stuff out there. I mean, you know what's crazy though? What about all these bus drivers and like these like teenagers getting into fights and stuff like that recently? Like I'm seeing too many of that pop up on my news feed and stuff like that. It's insane, insane times and stuff. It really is. Like even bad publicity is just getting like crazy and stuff like that. And CRC said, "Nah, JB, Mitchell Robinson face was like, yeah, what is he doing out here with a phone?" Nah, for real though, because you don't ever know. I mean, dude, Mitchell knows he out there in New York, every day. So you have somebody run up like that, like, hey, you better be ready. You better be ready. As she said, I mean, out here by Wimby with a phone. Let's see. Samuel says he's gonna get JB jersey 32 and 30 for the Saints. So he's gonna get JB two jerseys. They're not gonna be talking about two chains. They're gonna be talking about two jerseys for JB, thanks to Samuel. Okay. RC said, two of my cousin drive the city transportation buses. They say it's crazy as heck. A lot of that. I can imagine it is. I really can imagine it is. Because even though you're the bus driver, you try to tell them to do something for their own safety, and people are just not gonna listen. They just not gonna listen these days. But man, I don't seen a lot of crazy stuff, man. Like, what about that school bus that was like barely hit by the train, but like the fact that those kids were like so close a while back, crazy. Or if you've seen random fans cats run into WWE wrestling rings and get body slammed, that's to be expected, right? That is to be expected. And again, if you're tuning in and you're like, JB, what are you talking about? Like, we've got until about 2:15 before this lightning delay is finally done, and they will resume playing at about 2:15. Obviously, the players got to warm back up there, and we've yet to see the Browns offensively. We were just in the first drive of the game actually with Buffalo, and Kyle Allen was quarterbacking. And hey, I mean, they were moving the ball. Him, Ray Davis in the backfield. I like what I saw from them. That offensive line was winning battles out there, but we'll see if there's any rest thanks to the delay. Let's see. Samuel says, what name, number jersey is 32? And the names of those jerseys, that part I would not actually know either of them. Because I feel like ever since like Tyrann Matthew left, I don't even know who would be like somebody in the secondary for 30, 32. I got to think about that one. As RC said, I had no idea you was coming on JB and stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I had set this post up for this stream, I think. When did I set this up? Was it last Wednesday or last Thursday or last Tuesday? It was sometime in the middle of the week last week that JB set it up. And I've already set up next Saturday's stream for the for TCU versus North Carolina. So this time next week we'll already be probably more than halfway through that matchup with TCU in North Carolina. That's the stream that JB is going to be streaming for his first college football stream of the year. Let's see. Samuel says Saints team. Archie says, JB, I got to meet Olivia Miles someday. I don't know how. Maybe I'll attend a Lynx game. You say you love your Minnesota Lynx, JB. It's real and it's organic and it's a family feeling cheering for this time. And that's what it all comes down to. Because I remember we talked in the past when you were still, a fan of the Aces there, but it seemed like that timeline was coming to an end. Oh man, who was that in the backfield for Detroit? That's Josh Dobbs moving like that. Wow. That was a massive rushing touchdown there. Josh Dobbs says he can do it all. Josh Dobbs is mad with my team though, and I get that. We did release him kind of late. So I get that. And so yeah, I've actually seen her a couple of times and she's been on my parlay a few times last year. I've not done anything like that this year, but last year. She made it on a couple of my parlays. I just said JB set up the stream. That's code for JB gonna cancel. Oh man, RC shots fired, man. Shots are fired. JB's trying to do better, man. JB trying to do better. Now, last Wednesday, though, like I only found out within an hour of the stream. Old man had, I forgot what old man, if he had to do something related to work. So first it was old man, and then Zoe was busy, so he couldn't join the stream last Wednesday. And then Nash wasn't going to be able to stay the whole time. So at that point, I was like, all right, I'm not prepared to stream just me for the talk show without, anything going on there. So I was like, let me just go ahead and just push it back to next week, Wednesday. Let's see, Sam. It says JB look Jacksonville Jaguars versus New Orleans Saints. Yeah, that's right, that's right. What was the final score of that matchup there? Your team versus Laney's team. Let's see, I just say, yeah, I normally don't switch teams, but the Aces really rubbed me the wrong way, and it started in 24. And so I can feel that. I can feel that. There are some, like, I get it. I do get it. I do get it. And you made the right decision. You made the right decision. If what the team stands for begins to evolve against what you stand for or what you would really enjoy as a fan, then hey, you know, sometimes you got to make that move. RC says JB don't cancel unless it's RC's old Cowboys. I am not gonna lie to you. I do feel like throughout my time as a streamer, the Cowboys have probably suffered the most. Yeah, when it comes to canceled streams by JB, because I feel like every time it's the Cowboys and the Eagles, for whatever reason, life happens during those matchups, and then it's just like those games used to end up getting canceled. I do feel like you have a point there with the Cowboys. All right, so do my eyes deceive me, or are we finally resuming play in which the Buffalo Bills, they've had the football, they were moving and grooving prior to the lightning delay. So now they're about to go back out there. Kyle Allen waiting on the referee to give the okay. You said they dumped multiple players you enjoyed. They also come off as arrogant. They threw Hamby under the bus when she was pregnant. You say you don't like Adrian Wilson as much as you once did, and the coach is overrated. I do feel the part about the arrogance part. That is exactly what I feel when I watch them. There is a strong level of arrogance. All right, so here we go from the 41-yard line. Play fake. Allen gonna throw it. Gets another completion, picking up where they left off at. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. So we got that completion there. And Trent Sherfield seems to be his go-to guy. That time picking up 17 yards on the play. And now they've got it at the 24-yard line of the Cleveland Brown. Again, this is the opening drive here of the game still, despite the delay. But can the Buffalo Can the Buffalo Bills put some points up there? That's what we're going to find out here from the 24-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Going to be a run play here, and Ray Davis on the carry. Picks up 6 yards on the play. He's got 3 carries for 19 yards to get on the opening drive right now, but Buffalo looking really good. I like what I'm seeing here from the offensive line as well. But can they put it together for a score? That is the question. Let's see. Samuel says it was a good game. The Jaguars and the Saints game final was 24-20. Yeah, that was a good game indeed. Did you watch all of it? All right, 2nd and 4 for the Buffalo Bills. Allen up under center. Again, this is Kyle Allen. And Davis is going to pick up about 2 yards in the play. He needs another 2 yards to get a first down, though. So 3rd and short coming up. Let's see. RC says, JV fighting the lightning should be the name of this stream. Let's see. RC says, let's go, Jags, even though it's preseason. RC's already in full form here. Says, JV, what would you tell someone who says preseason is such a drag? Oh man, someone that says preseason's a drag. Let's see what happens here on 3rd and 3 first. With 5 seconds to go to play clock, they fake it. And so Kyle Allen on the move, pump fake, throws it into the end zone, incomplete. But there's a flag. They threw multiple flags. Both referees could not get their flags out fast enough. Not great enough coverage there. But preseason, it puts it together for teams. Preseason is a great way for us fans that don't get to actually see, the training camp, that we don't get to see the joint practices, we don't get to see any of the preparation. So for us, this is really a chance to see, although it's preseason, so you take it with a grain of salt, but some of the younger guys that come in from college, how do they look? It's a great moment for them to put, tape to advertise for other teams. And you just never know. It's not just your players that play in the preseason games, but other teams' players as well, because you might end up adding them to your team. So it's very important. It's one of those steps that you cannot cut out if you want the NFL product to be great by the time week 1 of the regular season happens. Then the preseason is a must. You must have those types of moments. So that's what I would say is that preseason is required to keep the standard of what we expect in a regular season where it's at. Can somebody explain to me how is DJU still in the NFL at this point? I mean, he wasn't that good at Clemson, but I'll give him credit. He's improved in the NFL to be considered, a backup. But back in college, I remember DJU down there in Clemson. I was like, what? Like 2nd and goal, Ray Davis. That's a touchdown, ain't it? Or did they stop him? Did they really stop his progress in time? I thought he was. They say it was a stop. I thought he got into the end zone first. Show me a replay. Maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, maybe I'm tripping. Let's see. Did he? Because all he has to do is just crack the end zone one time. Did he get there? Okay, on a second look, I could be wrong. First look, though, I thought he got there. He possibly. But here we go. 3rd and goal. Feed it to him again. Up the middle. And this time he gets it. Clearly got into the end zone there. Ray Davis for the score. So Buffalo on their opening drive, it literally took a long time thanks to the delay, but they still scored a touchdown there, giving it to Ray Davis to get into the end zone, who had 7 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown on that opening drive there for the Buffalo Bills. Here in the first quarter with 9 minutes and 32 seconds to go. All right, so RC says, JB, who's better? He says, Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis, or Reggie White. You gonna put me on a spot like that, RC? You really gonna put me on a spot like that? I'm gonna have to still say Lawrence Taylor, though. Lawrence Taylor gets the edge from me, but man, Reggie White, right there, man. Right there. 1A point. It's like, I don't even want to say 1B. Like, it just depends on the position that you need there. But I'm gonna go LT. I'm gonna go LT. Although he was him. Let's see. RC says, JB, I randomly did a video called Does the Dunk Still Matter in Today's NBA? And it actually did major views. I was actually shocked. How many views did you get? And that's an excellent question there. That's an excellent question there because when you heard, like, remember the argument against the WNBA a couple years ago, and they kept complaining about the dunk, complaining about the dunk. But you see it so much that even the dunk contest don't feel the same no more, you know? You say it's my favorite running back, LaDainian Tomlinson. Now, I was very fond of LaDainian Tomlinson, but to say that he was my all-time favorite running back, I don't think I would say that. My all-time favorite would not obviously be my considered my best, all-time running back. But my all-time favorite running back is Bo Jackson. I would have to say Bo Jackson in terms of just favorite, even if it was short term. RC's cooking in the kitchen now, over 500 views. RC, I think aside from all of I remember one time I posted an article, well, here I am sounding like a fancy reporter, so I posted about an article, and it was about an Asian coach that was discriminated against in the NFL, and that post took off like crazy, but it took off in like so much negativity that I had to eventually just cut off the comment section and stuff like that because like it was like really people just fighting at that point in the chat. And so I was like, all right, so I won't be doing anything else like this in the future because it just simply just brought out the worst at that point in time. But it did get a lot of views though. It got a lot of views at that time. All right, but here we go for the Cleveland Browns. 2nd and 2 with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Play receiver goes in motion. Shador up under center. Gonna feed it to the back in the back. Easily gets the first down there, brought down around midfield. And I believe that is Sanders there, Raheem Sanders out of South Carolina. And again, Raheem Sanders, he was him for the Gamecocks a couple years ago. I said, a good is good for a little fish, 500 views. And that's what folks got to realize. Even if only 38 people watch, that's 38 people who cared enough to look and listen. Spot on, RC. Spot on. Play fake. Oh, what an excellent play fake. We all thought that Sanders, I mean, yeah, so many Sanders out there that Raheem Sanders had the ball, but it was Shador Sanders that kept the ball. I just realized they got all these Sanders. He said, JB, you already know controversy, drama, troll posts, troll videos, clickbait, and beef videos drive numbers like nothing else. Yeah, you are right, but I had to make that decision then and there that that was not the route that I was going to take moving forward. All right, 2nd and 8. 4 seconds on the play clock, and they snap it and feed it to Raheem Sanders, and Sanders is fighting. Offensive line gives him the push there. Let's see how far he goes before they stop the forward progress there. 3rd down coming up. RC says, I believe the Vikings are playing someone too. Ravens, I think, or maybe it's the Titans. Yeah, the Vikings are playing the Ravens right now. I know that that's the game that Zoe is probably streaming right now. But yeah, Vikings and Ravens are playing right now. All right, 3rd and 3 for the offense. Can Shador move the chains here? Gonna toss it to the other Sanders, and Raheem just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. He put up a good fight though. Makes it 4th and very short to where you might consider going for it. It's 4th and 2. It's still a preseason game. Why not? So on 4th and 2, 2 seconds, got to snap the ball. They do. Sanders looking. Sanders in the pocket. Sanders throws it. Gets the completion. Give credit to that offensive line. They gave Shador time. If you can give Shador that kind of time, you can see the best version of Shador. But look at this pocket. I feel confident I could have found the receiver from that pocket. Look at it. Every lineman did their job. And Sanders threw that ball on the money because when he's not rushing, sets his feet, throws into it like he's supposed to, that's what you get. And this is what keeps the fan base wanting to see more of Shador. All right, 1st and 10 here for the Browns from the 25-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Can they answer with a touchdown of their own? They're going to give it to Raheem Sanders on the left side. Sanders on his feet, picks up 4 yards. I really thought he was going to go down around the line of scrimmage there, but he turned it into 4 yards on the play. RC said, JB, what else is new, bro? He said, you're ready for fall and winter regular season football? Yeah, so in terms of what else is new, so obviously I showed you guys the website that I was, working on, with a couple of things there. I did get permission from Yahoo Fantasy that I could integrate my website with their Yahoo Fantasy app. So there's a project that I'm working on for there. My trading card game has matured a lot over the last couple months. And so I'm at the point now where it's digitalized and I am currently testing out the mechanics on the website and improving it so that way it is playable and easy for someone else who doesn't necessarily know the game as well as I do to play it. So that's what I'm currently working on right now. And I like the progress that it has. I really love the progress that it has. It's been a fun process too. There's nothing like creating something from scratch and really just, watching it blossom. So that's what I've been up to. But yes, I am ready for the regular season. I am. Sanders up under center. Raheem bulldozing forward there. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of that first down marker, about a good 3, 4 yards away from the end zone there. Second down coming up here in the first quarter with about 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go left in the first. And again, Buffalo up 7-0, but Cleveland out here making it do what it do. Man, they showed Jerry Judy. If I see one more video of Jerry Judy dropping a pass, whether it's in practice, whether it's in a game, whatever it is, it's going to be insane. But let's see. 3 yards needed for the first down. They snap the ball, and Raheem's going to lose some yards here. He's going to lose a couple yards here, about 3 yards on the play. Third down coming up. So now we're going to look to Shador. This could definitely make a strong case for you if you can find a way to find the end zone. But at the very least, you have to make sure you protect the football here. You absolutely cannot go out there and turn the ball over. I feel like you turn the ball over, competition's done. So you've got to be smart about this one here. Here in the first quarter, about 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. I'm sorry, I didn't even read your comment there. All right, so 3rd and 7. Receiver goes in motion here, snaps the ball. Shador looking. Shador does it into the end zone for a touchdown. Can we say worth the wait? Oh, wow. How about that? That's going to make the fans stand up there. What I love most about this is that Cleveland offensive line, they gave him time. You give him time, this is what you're going to get. If you give him time, he will commit the crime. The crime of finding an open target into the end zone and getting it to him. That is a throw that I'm pretty sure JJ McCarthy could never make. Just gonna say that. Let's see, RC said, I feel like long as Juju Watkins comes back and she's healthy, the USC Trojans will be the NCAA basketball national title. Well, they'll be there, so they'll get there. So that doesn't mean that they'll win it, but they will get there. That would be great. That would be great. As RC said, I had a dream that JB became a New York Jets fan. Oh, you know what? We're gonna stop this one right there. We're gonna stop you right there. A Vinny Testaverde jersey. You're not gonna find that from JB. And a Curtis Martin jersey. Only Curtis Martin jersey is gonna be from his time with the Patriots. That's it, RC. And let's see. Sammy says, "Hey JB from Atlanta, Georgia, Covington, Georgia. How far away miles there?" That's an excellent question. JB does not necessarily know, but a good question. And so RC says Sam Yule. Then he says Shador. Yes, Shador out there putting butts in the seats and finding players in the end zone. All right, so both teams have had the football, one drive each, and both teams scored a touchdown. Who would have thought? Now let's see, the receiver that caught that touchdown was Luke Floria, number 81 for the Cleveland Browns, making it do what it do. Dammer says, JB drive from Atlanta, Georgia to Covington, Georgia. How far away? Miles, 35.7 to Covington, Georgia there. And so, well, it seems like Sammy's got himself a good map there. Oh, man, Atlanta scored again? What is going on with Indianapolis? I mean, I get it's a preseason game, but my goodness. No fight put up at all. 24-6. The Dirty Birds, they're getting down and dirty. And again, this is Atlanta coming fresh off that beatdown that they got against the Broncos, I think, last week in the preseason, but they responded. They are awoke. Let's see. You say you got, do I have Trinidad Chambers for the Heisman? No. And I'm going to tell you why. I cannot root for an Ole Miss quarterback to win a Heisman. That's against JB's policy. Every good Ole Miss quarterback ends up going to play for the Giants. And I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I just can't. But nah, all jokes aside, though, RC, it's a possibility, but no, I don't think he gets it. I don't think he gets it. So as it says, I know you don't have Arch Manning for the Heisman. I mean, all you need to win a Heisman is the voters to vote for you. And Arch Manning has voters. So if he goes out there and he plays pretty good, you best believe Arch will get it before Trinidad ever gets an opportunity. See, Mr. JB says all those guys who play for the Colts, they're going to be cut. Y'all not going to have a team left. Y'all will not have a team left. Kyle Allen on the run throws it there to his tight end who got hit there but made the catch. Picked up about 2 yards on the play. And that's Jackson Hawes there with the reception. 2 yards on the play. Sammy says the Deuce of Hazard show at Covington, Georgia. Good old Covington, Georgia. I said, JB, come on, bro. Bust out that Drew Alar Steelers jersey. Go retrieve it from your closet. There is no such thing in my closet. And if it did, it already would have been burnt to ashes. Oh, man, what a sack. What a sack. Just when it looked like Kyle Allen was out there thinking he was Josh Allen, he's brought down for the sack. Third down coming up. That's now you got 3rd and 17 coming up right now for Kyle Allen and the Buffalo Bills here. No backs in the backfield here. So they're going to protect from his own 29-yard line. Gets the snap. Kyle looking. Kyle throws it. Gets the completion there to the receiver, but the receiver, even he realizes he's got so much work to do. And again, that's the running back at the backfield, Ray Davis. Archie says, if I was an NFL preseason defense, I would try to score or give up 100 for the luck of it. He said, for the luck of it. Let's see. You said, following that up, JB, what would you do if a team gave up a hundo in the preseason? Well, first of all, JB would have to fight past security to get in contact with those that are play calling and stuff. But I mean, at that point, you have to question every single person on the team that played and ask them, do you guys even have heart? I mean, if they're backups, they're gone. They're gone. I mean, I'm sorry, they are gone if that's the case. JB, I mean, I would do, ain't no telling what I would do. I mean, especially if you're talking about a team that I cared about, a hundo? What? Like in a preseason game? Oh no. I'm sorry, RC. I'm sorry. There are just some things that should never happen. RC said safe to say they would all be cut before the end of the preseason. Yeah, yeah, they would certainly be cut for sure. Probably before the end of the game. In all honesty, we're talking about 100 points. They got to hold JB back. That's all I'm saying. They got to hold me back. RC security, everybody. RC said you ain't never scored 100 in any Madden game. The most you ever scored was 78 or 80. Let's see. I know I've scored about in it because JB played long quarters. So I still play on all Madden, but I play long quarters. JB for a Madden game would play probably about a good 8 minutes, but I used to at one point in time play like about 10 minutes. I think the most I would play would be up to 12, but that's if I know that the like everything is set up to where it's hard to score basically. All right, so Cleveland really can run out the rest of this quarter if they desire to, but they're going to hurry up here from their own 8-yard line shotgun formation. Oh, got some movement there, and oh, they're not going to let him get a free play though. He said, now in the NCAA football games, that's different. You say, I think I scored close to 100 and that stuff. Oh man, you just got it like that. RC just that talented. You say you used to play 12 or 13-minute quarters in Madden. Bet, bet, bet. All right, so RC says that he's currently at 1.53 subs there. So RC's getting it all to work out. Okay, okay. Like how many subs would you say, RC, you typically feel like you probably gain each month right now? Like if you're comfortable saying about how many would you say you're currently gaining a month right now? And how do you feel about that number? All right, so it's the end of the first quarter. JB's gonna step away for a second, but I will be back. But since this game was delayed for so long, JB's gonna need to step away for a moment. All right, JB is back. Let's see. I see that second quarter has now officially started here. And again, we're all tied up 7-7 right now in this matchup here. But obviously, looking at Shador Sanders, so far he is 4 of 4 for 43 yards passing and a touchdown here. And of course, we know the importance it is for him statistically to go out there and ball out today and give himself every opportunity to try to take this starting job here. But here we go. Shador up under center. Fullback goes in motion here. One back in the backfield from their own 18-yard line here. Going to snap the ball, play fake. Shador looking. Shador steps up on the move there. Felt the rush there. I felt like he probably felt it a little too early there, but got back to the line of scrimmage. And so you don't want to see negative plays, so you will take that. RC said probably 30 to 40 subs a month on a good month there. That's a very, very good number right there. 30 to 40. So every couple months there, that adds up. That adds up. That adds up. Samuel said JB will be back in a minute. Let's see, Mike says, where JB? And so I just stepped away there really quickly, but I'm back, 2nd and 9. And Raheem Sanders on a carry. Let's see. Uh, Mike says, I'm out and about. Anything stick out, JB? So far in this one, what stands out here is I would say the offensive line play early on when Buffalo scored a touchdown made the big difference. But the last possession when Buffalo was out there, Kyle Allen was getting sacked and stuff. So the offensive line play obviously critical to Buffalo's success, especially in this one with Kyle Allen in there at quarterback. Same can be said about Shador. You give him time, he is out there finding guys. I've always liked that about his ability to just throw the ball. This time he gets it out quickly. And Raheem Sanders, I was about to say, if y'all let Raheem Sanders juke the both of y'all getting cut immediately. But fourth down coming up. And again, Shador just doing what he has to do, get the ball out there that time. Don't force anything. For Shador, it's so important that he doesn't turn the ball over. I feel like with the coaching staff, he's going to have to show them that he's not going to turn the ball over. Let's see. RT said JB took a trip to Buffalo Wild Wings to bring all the chat some good food. JB is such a kind guy to buy everyone here wings on the house. Not this house, maybe the house that Peyton built and stuff like that, using Peyton card maybe, but not JB's house. Oh no. As he Mike says, why Bills players doing anything? Reroute Ian Wheeler. And so right now, I'll say this. I did like what I saw before the delay from Ray Davis. It looked a little bit more explosive than I'm used to seeing from Ray Davis. Part of that could be the offensive line on that first drive there, but I did like that from Ray Davis. But Sherfield, he's had two pretty good catches so far in this one for Kyle Allen. So he's got two catches for 35 yards so far in this one. Defensively for the Buffalo Bills, Hamlin, he's moving around pretty good. He's got 4 tackles so far in this one, including one solo tackle. The biggest thing right now from Buffalo is you guys should be able to get at least, you want to see guys step up and get some pass rush, get some sacks. That's what you want to see if you're rooting for Buffalo here, because obviously Shador ain't but so fast and stuff like that. So you need to see them edge rushers getting after him a little bit more than what they're doing right now, if you are evaluating from a Buffalo Bills perspective. So I said, JB, now remember I'm fat. You say I'm gonna need more wings than everybody else in the chat. Said JB, normally I only there during lunch because it's actually affordable then. Let's see. One thing I noticed about a lot of these restaurants, JB, what's the thing that you noticed? Put us on game, RC. Let us know. Educate us. Actually, both quarterbacks have not thrown an incompletion today. That's interesting. Both Kyle Allen and Shedeur Sanders have not thrown a single incompletion so far. We're here in the second quarter. It seems like every time there was an incompletion for Kyle Allen, there was a penalty. So therefore, that obviously doesn't count against him. So 4 for 4 for Kyle Allen for 47 yards passing. Meanwhile, Shedeur, he is 5 of 5. He's got 45 yards passing and a passing touchdown in this one. Matthew Samuel says these authentic Georgia back roads and town landmarks establish the foundational look and feel of Hazard movie. Good analysis there. All right, so with Kyle Allen up under center, they're going to run the ball here off the left guard. Let's see who was it that got the carry here. Oh, Frank Gore Jr. Frank Gore Jr. Frank Gore, I feel like last year was pretty good in the preseason as well, but it wasn't obviously good enough to get him, a regular season spot. But I felt like he did pretty good with his opportunities he did get in the preseason last year. Casey Thomas says Covington, Georgia served as the primary real-life filming location for the first 5 episodes of The Dukes of Hazzard in the late 1979. I'm gonna start calling you the professor, Samuel. I'm gonna call you the professor because you got the data. All right, short pass there and gonna fight to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Sherfield on the play once again. Let's see. RC says they have apps for the restaurants, but unlike McDonald's and Burger King, who both have free items on their apps if you buy something, a lot of these food spots have apps but no friendly deals. You can say that again. All right, 3rd and 4 here for Buffalo. Trying to keep the drive alive. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. That is actually our first incompletion of the entire game for either squad. 4th down coming up. Oh, my bad, Mike. Mike says thoughts and prayers for Ed Oliver. Good old Ed Oliver. Absolutely. RC says Buffalo Wild Wings wants to buy a whole lot of stuff before you can get something for free. Same thing with other restaurant chains. Oh, Taco Bell is app friendly too. Just saying. He's just saying, guys. He's just saying. Meanwhile, punt, the return, staying on his feet. He's at the 30, 35, 40. Pushed out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, but let's see where the referee marked it. Grayhawk says, watching the Ravens and Vikings game, says the Ravens defense is looking really good. So much good so that he's decided that he's going to draft the Ravens defense with the first pick of his fantasy football draft, guys. That is some commitment there by Braden. And we are currently here at the commercial. Oh, Brayhawk cannot stomach it. Or she said, man, y'all rich watching all this NFL football, NFL package are too rich for his blood there. I'll say this, RC. Last year, I did not get to watch a lot of my Patriot games up until they started showing us a little bit more when they realized we were good. Because I did not have the package last year. I have not had the package for the last several years prior to this year. This year is the first year that I finally did get it back. I either watch NFL Red Zone, then just hope and pray that they would show someone other than the Atlanta Falcons or the Carolina Panthers on regular TV. I'm like, someone, anyone. And then they would show me last year a matchup of a team like the Cardinals and Raiders or something like that. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing? I'm like, why? Who put that on TV? Mr. Bragg said, if I did, you would not let me hear the end of it. So, Mr. RC said, Brayhawk, I thought you had a cast iron skillet stomach. Mr. Bragg said, it's on your local station, RC. Good question there for the trivia question there. As RC said, JB, they should have a team only package like the NFL is bugging. I really wish they would do that. And then let you customize it too. So if you want, for example, just 4 teams, then you pay for the 4 teams as opposed to every team. I wish that they had that, RC. I really do wish they would have did that. But now that I mention it, they're like, nah, we would never do that. All right, so therefore, Sanders to Ryan. Carson Ryan, another tight end, over 48, 13 yards in the play. Brayhawk says, I honestly kind of do, but don't, but ain't going to risk it, RC. That's what RC said. Brayhawk, oh, okay, my local TV only shows Bears and sometimes goes. Mr. JB would love to have that on his local TV to watch the Colts. In the round here for the Browns, and gonna turn that into some yards there, about a good 4 yards. And I believe that's Isaiah Bond on the end around there for the Cleveland Browns. As Josie said, you ate Taco Bell twice recently. You told them to hold the lettuce. You got to tell them that now. Brock says, I get the Vikings, Packers preseason games. Oh man, y'all get better picks than me. It's always the Falcons. And if it ain't the Falcons, then it's those Carolina Panthers who ain't really got much offense and stuff like that. So I'm usually stuck having to watch them. And we all know that last year somebody had to win the division. That's why Carolina won it, because somebody had to win the division. And so I'm just like, man, what y'all trying to do to us? Brad says he completely agrees. You say, I pay $10 a month just to have all the Packers content and games so you can watch. Meanwhile, 3rd and 5 here, Sanders felt that one on his helmet, got away. Look at Sanders turn on the Jets here. But there is a flag. Come on, Shador, man. Like, come on, really. You're fighting for your NFL career here. There's no time to celebrate, man. And then on top of that, holding. Samuel says, your JV wife was like that Outback Steakhouse and Mexican restaurants. For more, as RC said, Braden and JB look, he said, I'd pay $20 a month just to be able to watch your Cowboys all season long. And so Black Medicine says, I'd pay $30 a month to keep the Fudge Backers and the Cows Girls off of my TV. Sanders throws it. Oh, what a nice completion for a first down. That was 3rd and 15, and he picked that one up. Threw it on the spot. Okay, Shador. Rayhawk says poor JB has to watch the Browns quarterback battle. I mean, we all need storylines, right? So it gets us through the night. But excellent job there by Shador. Stepped into that one. Again, give him a clean pocket to where he's not having to move, and this is what you risk giving up. So run play. Let's see. Brayhawk says he'd pay 100 so that he don't have to watch the Vikings play every week. He says skulls down, please. No. Brayhawk says touchdown Ravens. So what is the score for that game? Again, second quarter with 6 minutes and 27 seconds to go, and we're all tied up 7-7. Brayhawk says Ravens are up 10-3 in that matchup. And Brayhawk says Lester Wester with the touchdown. Quick pass, caught by the receiver. Fighting for everything he can. Maybe he can get back to the line of scrimmage, perhaps. Oh my goodness. Atlanta's up 31-6 against Indianapolis. My goodness. BTA. BTA. 3rd and 6 for the Cleveland Browns. Let's see. A little pass interference call there. But so far in this one, how do you guys feel about Shador so far in this one? Oh, excellent job making a catch despite the fact of the PI call. Is it the Sanders? The Sanders can pick up like a yard on the play. Again, 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And RC's got a point. He says anybody but Deshaun Watson, please. RC said he's gonna put his foot down. He's gonna put pork chop down. He's gonna lay the brick down. He says he is done seeing Deshaun Watson. So I hear you, RC. I hear you. 2nd and 9. Sanders throws it. Oh no, an interception off the receiver hands, but kind of behind him there. That's not what you need. That's not what you need. He says, he's about to eat a late breakfast over here. Cheese, eggs, pancakes, turkey, bacon, and grits. Some good old grits. RC, I ain't had grits in a minute, RC. It's been too long since JB had some grits. I'm trying to think. I feel like sometime last year, maybe early last year. I think the last time I had grits, let's see, when's the last time I had grits? I feel like it may have been at a restaurant actually, but I'm trying to think which one did I go to? But yeah, it's been a minute for JB. Let's see. RC says plus lemonade, iced tea to wash it all down. Brayhawk says he comes back and Shador throws a pick. He called that perfect timing. I tell you what, Brayhawk. Rumor has it that your draft board has Shador as your first round pick this year. That's what the rumor mill is starting to say, that you want Shador as your QB1. Now, I ain't mad. I ain't mad. If that's your choice, you take him at 1, you take Jordan Love at 2. I understand. Let's see. RC says Shador is a pickologist. Let's see. Brayhawk says, nah, he ain't on this board. Black Medicine says that he eat grits 3 times a week, half and half, salt, black pepper, and cook it on low, creamiest grits ever. So if y'all are taking note, I'm telling you, man, it's been a good minute since JB had grits, man. I feel like prior to early 2025 and stuff like that, I had more. So it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been so long. I don't think that my wife has tasted grits yet. She's asked about it, but she's not tasted grits just yet. Right, Hawk says RC. Black Medicine says ate some this morning too. And so, oh man. Well, you guys in the chat, let me know. Are you guys more team grits or team oatmeal? You guys let JB know in the chat. I feel bad for Shador. I really feel bad for Shador because if it bounces off the receiver hand, man, that's tough, man. That's tough. But here we go, second quarter. We got 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go here before halftime. Now, Kyle Allen's going to hand the ball off here to the back, and the back is going to kick up about maybe 3 yards on the carry. Again, Frank Gore Jr. is currently in the game right now at running back for the Buffalo Bills. That's right, you heard JB correct. Frank Gore Jr. I hadn't heard from him since last year preseason when he was also with Buffalo. So I guess he's been on the practice squad for the Buffalo Bills over the past year. He looked good last year in the preseason. I think if he was faster, he'd get more of an opportunity, but certainly someone that is developing. 2nd and 8. Let's see. Samuel says JB NFL game night, Jaguar versus Ravens game start time 7:15 p.m. Eastern on your birthday. To November 5th. You'll be turning 28. The big old 2-8. Okay. All right. She said JB. Okay. What's better tasting? Oatmeal, grits, cream of wheat, or malto meal? And so I would have to say, in all honesty, it depends on who's making the grits, because that one varies the most for me and mine. Now, I've had seasons there for oatmeal, and perhaps, with controlling the stuff as I do, oatmeal is a good option there. But in all honesty, it depends on who makes the grits now. Because you get the correct sudden mom, sudden grandma make the grits and stuff like that, the grits will elevate. But you get the wrong person in the kitchen making the grits, that it can plateau at the bottom. Grits can variate based upon who makes it and how they make it. But it's got the best potential. Like Mr. Seth, I have a special container for grits. It's even bigger than your rice cap. You're kidding me, Black Medicine. Knowing what I know, that has to be incorrect. I need to bring out the chain gang, and we need to measure this one ourselves to believe it. Let's see. Black Medicine says from 7th until yes, yes, yes. He's been there. This is what, year 2? This is the second year, like basically at the NFL level. Right? Or is it 3rd year? I know it's got to be at least 2 years though. Like Mr. says, or the weird Northerners who put sugar in grits. I see Samuel says, JV, maybe live stream on Thursday, November 5th, 2026. Certainly within the possibilities, Samuel, but it is way too early for JB to commit to a November stream. I'll tell you that. Y'all know JB can barely commit to a stream that's 2 days out. Better yet, that many months. But certainly remind JB as we get closer. All right, let's see. RC says you like sweet grits with butter and sugar. Sugar. Black man says block this man. Oh man. Wait a minute here. I'm going through the channel. I just realized going through the chat that all of our chats are basically mods. Like all of us are mods. Oh man, what's good? We've got old man here. I know Mr. JB's probably jumping to reach his phone to ask where you been and how you been. But man, how are we doing, old man? Oh man, JB is doing pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, JB a little tired. That delay did take a little out of JB because I did hit the gym before that, and so JB's a little tired, JB's a little hungry, but I'm pushing through. This is one that I'm pushing through. I see we're at the 2 minute mark at halftime, so at halftime, might just step away for a few minutes because JB got to just grab something to eat, keep JB awake and stuff like that. Because JB was up to probably about, let's see, how late was JB up? I was up to about maybe 4:30 a.m. perhaps last night. So I stayed up pretty late, but still got up to go work out today and stuff like that. So JB's feeling all of that at once. You say mouth is way better. Let's see. And so RC says, welcome to Mod City. I mean, legitimately, I just realized that every single person here in the chat is a mod. Like, where are the non-mods? And let's see. Old man says, by the way, be careful. There's a scumbag on Twitter with a fake your Bernard account and scamming people using charity. Oh man, that's terrible. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Like Mr. System. That is not the case. That is not the case. That is not the case. JV's probably going to end up trying to take a quick, small little, like the quickest of naps you can take. Cause JV eyes, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I nodded at least 3 times during that first half so far already. Now we're at the 2 minute mark. Tell me this, Black Medicine, what is Atlanta doing to Indianapolis? Is it all Strand just going out there and balling, or what's going on? Let's see, RC says you was up to 2:30 a.m. last night. You thought it was a long time until you hear JB. Because I mean, JB was in the laboratory, man. JB was putting in work last night, and so I had to pull my stuff away from the computer at 4:30 because your boy could have really pulled an all-nighter, but I'm too old to be pulling all-nighters and stuff like that. I really am. All right, so at the 2 minute mark here for Buffalo, 3rd and 4 from their own 45-yard line. Kyle Allen looking, throws it over the middle, incomplete, incomplete. And so Cleveland gets the stop, and we'll get an opportunity with 1:55 to go here before halftime. As Arthur said, JB, well, it sounds marvelous that we are all here. Absolutely. And let's see. Old man says, I'm also tired. You said you've been working 60, 70 hours a week, and it's getting hard to do what you need the money. Oh man, that's a commitment, old man. You working them hours that people marched many, many years to get away from, old man. That's a lot. But hey, I hear you though. Because I remember, like earlier in the stream, we had those conversations and stuff like that. You were just ready to get back out there, ready to get back out there. You've already been promoted to manager, right? Is it like manager or team lead, something like that? But I know you did get basically promoted and very quickly too. Very quickly. And all he's got to do is just ride around there and take down every single Buffalo Bill flag that he sees in the community. That's how he improves the community. And so let's see, Black Message says the laboratory is the bathroom. Oh man. Not that laboratory, man. But we're not talking Dexter's laboratory now. Nothing like that, bruh. Whoo. As the old man says, team lead. And so, yeah, he's leading the team to go down there and take down every single Buffalo Bill, whether it's a flag, whether it's just a sticker and stuff like that. He's leaving the trash there. He is grabbing the Buffalo stuff. Meanwhile, for Shador, that's gonna hurt. You threw it there. You lost so many yards. He got the hit there. That hurt. A minute 40 to go here before halftime. Let's see. Old man says, but tell me this, old man. I know that well, you don't have to show your hand here with this one, old man, but tell me for this year in fantasy football, what are you going to do to ensure that you end up making the playoffs this year? Is this going to be the year that you get there? And I have to ask because, Pop Brown, he's always wondering when are you going to get into the playoffs? He's questioning if you'll ever be able to achieve anything close to his legacy. So he's always checking in. So while I know he's listening and stuff like that, what are you going to do this year to ensure that this year is different? Because I know ever since you've been in the league, this is the first year I think that you have not had the first overall pick. And shoot, last year you gave my team my first loss in fantasy last year. I remember that. I was upset about that. They went my perfect season, but I was still able to bring home the chip. So I guess it's all good that ends good. That's what I said. But they moved you to overnights. When did they make that move to put you to overnight? All right, she said overnights, man. So you telling me, oh man, that overnight you're working 60, 70 hours. That's a different 60, 70 hours if we're working overnight because it's just hard on the body to sleep during the day when it's like so it's sunny outside and stuff. Like it's tough. Sanders throws it. Took a hit though. There is a flag. Let's see, RC said overnights, man. Okay, I already read that one. So the older I get, the more I dread overnight gigs. Yeah, yeah. JB don't like overnight stuff no more. Like nah, I can't be doing that. I can work for me, but I can't be out there in the streets like that, man. Overnight. Let's see. Old man says he had to throw three Bills fans out because they came in destroying stuff, and you had a made jersey. And so, oh man, I can imagine they probably went jumping on tables like they normally do and stuff like that. No man's like, not on my street, not today. And he used the power of Drake May's arm strength to throw them out. And hey, I didn't know you had a Drake May jersey. All right, 3rd and 8, incomplete. Yeah, when did you get that jersey? I didn't know you had a Drake May jersey. Okay, okay. All right, so to JB, who needs to get to the playoffs more between these three quarterbacks? Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, or Joe Burrow? That's a good question there. I'm going to say who needs to the most. If Joe Burrow doesn't do it, he's still going to have his job. The coach gets fired, so it's not Joe Burrow. If Dak Prescott doesn't do it, then I'm going to say he's still He still will give them the best option, I feel like, but they'll be looking at him. There'll be immense pressure. But for Kyler Murray, if he doesn't lead the Vikings to the playoffs, he probably never gets to be a starting quarterback again. He's the one that has the least guaranteed money, which means you're disposable. So I think Kyler Murray is the one who needs the playoff the most because if he doesn't get the playoff, he'll be gone. Kevin O'Connor will be gone. Minnesota Viking fans will destroy the stadium. It will go down. It will get dark very fast. So I'm gonna say Kyler Murray for that question. Let's see. Old man says not force on Pats, but force on players who can fit what I want to do. Running back City. Okay, so not focus on the Pats, but focus on the players who can fit what you want to do there. Okay, okay. Okay, perhaps old man is showing his hand here for the upcoming draft. Perhaps. Let's see. We've got a minute and 2 seconds before we reach halftime. RC said, listen, JB, you either go to sleep in the daytime after work or you get fired. I don't like the alternative there, RC. I don't like the alternative. Meanwhile, Kyle Allen throws it, gets the completion before his receiver is sandwiched on the play. That's Hartman Jr. with the catch. 53 seconds to go here in a second. Buffalo's got 2 timeouts. Cleveland has all 3 timeouts. So this is going to be very important here on 2nd and 4 to at least get a first down for Buffalo. Buffalo taking a deep shot. Oh, he gets the completion. Wow, but he's got to hurry up. He's got to hurry up. And his teammate made sure he realized that. All right, so basically at the 19-yard line, Allen looking. And again, this is Kyle Allen, gets the completion, goes out of bounds. He might be just a little shy of that first down marker, but still an excellent play. And good job getting out of bounds. Now you got 21 seconds. You got 2 timeouts. You're all tied up 7-7, but you are in an opportunity where you're going to come away with points so long as your quarterback doesn't do anything dumb. Old man says you work 45 hours at Walmart, 15, 20 with your uncle construction on your day off. You bought 15 jerseys. They fake, but great quality. I'm sorry, 15 jerseys. I need you to tell me all 15 players' jerseys that you got, old man, because I am very curious. And now I understand why you can get yourself 15 jerseys, why you can buy every single Madden Ultimate Pack there is on the universe and stuff like that. You balling out here, old man. Old man probably walking around in gold chain, you know? And it's okay. It's okay. What was that guy? I forget what team was it. Was he on the Houston Texans or who was it? But there was somebody who chain broke mid-game and they showed it. I'm trying to think, was he for the Houston Texans? Was it Higgins on the sideline? I can't remember who it was, but somebody chain broke and I was like, dang, somebody's fake chain broke and they got it on the jumbo screen. That's tough. Old man said you bought 15 jerseys. They fake, but great quality, but still 15 jerseys. I'm sure Mike's gonna jump back on at any time and say, "Hey, give me a jersey." Meanwhile, I missed the entire part of saying that there was a touchdown there for Buffalo. And again, the touchdown came on a 9-yard pass from Kyle Allen to Hardman. Again, it was a short pass to the left there. Hardman did the rest of the work there. So now Buffalo up 14-7. There's only 15 seconds left, basically, for Shador. That's going to be pretty tough to overcome unless they get a good return here. We'll see. And so, Pebble, what's good? What's good? How are you doing today? It says touchdown Buffalo. Yes, touchdown Buffalo. So now at the door, 9 of 11, 74 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The interception off the receiver hands there, so I won't put too much on that for him. But what do you guys feel about what you saw from Shador today? And considering, obviously, second half we'll get to see Deshaun Watson. We'll judge him at that time there. But from Shador through 2 preseason games, are you guys feeling confident, worried, bad? Like, how are you feeling about Shador so far from what we've seen? Again, just 15 seconds left here before we reach halftime. Buffalo up 14-7. All right, the return brings it to about the 31-yard line, 9 seconds left, but there is a penalty on the play. And so Pepper says, I'm no mod, but I got some sleep. Hey, you're already steps ahead of us. For sure, for sure. Absolutely. But yes, nothing like some football here. I got a little worried earlier today when they had this delay, though. I really thought the NFL was just going to go ahead and say cancel preseason game, but I'm glad that they allowed this competition to continue in this one. As the old man says, Dubs, May, Brown, Williams, Henderson. Okay, right on. You say Diggs, Gonzo. Speaking of Gonzo, old man, I want your thoughts on why is it so hard for us to get a deal done with Gonzo? Like, why is that so hard? You say Otherman, Jones, Campbell, Jackas. Okay, Vrabel, and a custom one with your last name on it. I like that. I like that. I like that. That had to cost a good bit, though. But yeah, Gonzo's contract situation is really frustrating me in all honesty. Like, I want to see this deal done so that way he can fully focus on football. He deserves that money. He's young. He's done tremendous. He's been a class act off the field. Just give the man his money, you know? And I know I mean, he is asking for a lot, though. He is asking for a lot from how I understand it. But hey, guys, we're currently at halftime right now. It is Buffalo 14, Cleveland 7. As the James says, hey, JB, your friend is a truck driver? So you guys all just travel the roads together, huh? Old man says, Zero got a Bills one name, Super Bowl number zero. You did not, old man. You did not. That's funny, guys. That right there is funny. Let's see. Samuel says, I'm my friend driver truck on. So you got him on your YouTube. He's got his own YouTube channel. Is that what you're saying? He's got his own YouTube channel. Pebble said, "Old man played a long time ago. I'll bet." And so every hey, I can see an old man out there for sure. Yes, the old man says, "Yeah, I think Gonzo will get paid, but there were rumors he's hurt and was limping last practice when he came out to see the Eagles. But do you think it's serious? As in, it could potentially cause him to miss time in the regular season?" All right, JB's gonna step away for a second, guys. I will be back, but I'm gonna step away for a little bit here. Again, a little tired today, so didn't get my sleep. But I will be back, though. I will be back. Just give JB a couple minutes here. All right, JB is back. All right, let's see. Where am I now? All right, let's see. So Samuel says your friend driver, truck driver on YouTube's got 106,000 subs and 4,403 videos. Oh man, that's a lot. It's been putting in work, Samuel. You said your the truck driver name is Bobby, Ricky Bobby. It was on YouTube channel. Let's see, name is Ride Along Gang. Okay, okay. And so absolutely, we'll check it out there, Samuel. Let's see. Old man says check. This ought to be good. Let's see. Old man, old man, old man. What are we gonna do with you, old man? Oh man, I can be like, he's not one of us. He's trolling us. Oh man. Yes. Not was not bluffing at all. Public enemy number one down there, for sure. But hey, JB loved it. JB loved it. Did you see the changes that I made to this year's fantasy football league, old man? Like some of the changes that I've made? And I did put us back to three divisions, but instead of eight playoff teams, wanted to make it seven so that way one, it didn't feel like, everybody was just getting in the playoffs regardless of record, but mostly because I wanted the one seed to have a bye week at the very least. Bet. Everybody says they've been practicing, old man. I'm like, should I be concerned? With JB getting the championship, nobody wants to see JB get it a second time. So what can I say? But yeah, everybody's locked in this year. This is the first year I think that I brought every single person back without having to, without losing anybody or no new addition. So it's exactly the same core that we had last year, same divisions now. So good times. I feel like if Deshaun Watson comes out here and he just looks kind of good like he did last week, doesn't have to be nothing spectacular, but just look good, I feel like the coaching staff is going to give him the starting job. I feel like between Shador and Watson, if it's close, they're going to give Watson the first opportunity during the regular season. That's just what my gut feeling tells me. Shador in 2 games, 2 turnovers, 2 picks. Not really his fault there, but 2 picks, and you played like 2 quarters for each game, so that's basically one full game. Yeah, they're gonna probably lean towards Watson unless he goes out there and then just looks bad. I'm about to say Falcons scored again. It's 34-6. Have mercy, Atlanta, on Indianapolis. It's just the preseason, 34-6. Save some of that scoring for the regular season. My goodness. They are lighting a torch to Indianapolis. Raleigh Leonard, I see 62 yards passing over there. But anyways, this game is back in action now. Third quarter, Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Now, last week against Chicago, he did pretty good. If he can repeat that today, the job is his. I'm already thinking that that's his job, but uh-oh. Old man says Mr. JV Coats have been looking horrible. Not even bad, horrible. I mean, I'm still mad that we tied with them, old man. That's what really irked me because we was up. I know fourth quarter, but Didn't our kicker miss like what 3 field goals in that game, old man? 3 field goals. How do you miss 3 field goals in a preseason game where there really ain't that kind of pressure? And you supposed to be our starting kicker. That's what really irked me about that game against Indianapolis. Meanwhile, it's a run play to the right side, but Buffalo says, we know what you're going to do better than you know. We're not going to let that happen. And now, third down coming up. Andy going to end up on the Andy Griffin show if he keep kicking like this. Because we've got no space for a kicker that's going to go out there and miss 3 field goals. In all my years of watching, to watch a kicker miss 3 field goals, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. 3rd and 12 for the Cleveland Browns. Watson looking, Watson working up the pocket, throws it over the middle there. Incomplete. Lucky that was not picked off there. 4th down coming up. And that's the thing about Watson at the position. With Watson, you know, it's going to be a lot more conservative there. These types of passes there with a stronger arm, maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't. But you know you're not going to get a lot of these, bigger plays with Watson in there at quarterback. So what you hope for is that he's very efficient, like he was last week, and that you're able to still move the ball and score. In all honesty, I mean, if you end up drafting someone like Judkins in fantasy football, I wonder which quarterback would be best for him to really excel. And again, just awaiting to return back to the action there, in which Deshaun Watson's opening drive produced nothing basically. So now we're going to get to see what Buffalo does here for the first time offensively here in the second half. We'll see who they bring out there at quarterback. And again, the score right now, Buffalo 14, Cleveland 7. Let's see, Mr. JB says that when the regular season starts, they're having mercy on nobody. So I think he's trying to say that when the regular season starts, that the Colts won't have mercy on nobody. We'll see about that. We will see about that. I mean, you guys are the team that made Philip Rivers have to go back to work. Took him away from, his children and stuff who've been waiting this long to spend time with him, his wife and stuff, and y'all call the old man out there in a desperate situation. Y'all came in third place in y'all division last year. Y'all got some work to do. All right, 2nd and 1. And the back gets the carry there, and that's Ian Wheeler. Picks up 10 yards on the play. That's a first down. Again, here in the third quarter with about 12 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Hey, how about the fact that I heard that college hoop 2K basketball will be making a return next year. College hoops 2K basketball. I have not had that since college hoops 2K8, I think was their last version. And that was the game that had Greg Oden on the cover, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that the College 2K series last cover boy was indeed Greg Oden. So, hey, if they're going to go ahead and create another one, I'm all for that one. I personally preferred the 2K version over the NCAA March Madness other version that they had back in the day anyway. So, I for sure will be getting that one for Team Xbox. All right, 2nd and 6 from the 46-yard line of the Cleveland Browns here. Play fake, looking, and Shane gets the completion. Shane Buechele. Is that an Iowa Hawkeye quarterback there? I'm trying to think. It seems kind of familiar. Anyways, a third down coming up here. A 3rd and 4 is coming up. Can Buffalo keep the drive alive? Or will Cleveland get the ball back for Deshaun Watson to get another opportunity? They're about the 43-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. They're going to hand the ball off to the back here, and the back is going to be short of that first down marker. The question is, how close was he to the actual first? Probably about a yard shy. That's exactly what they're going to say. We got a 4th and 1 situation here. Quarterback up under center. Tight end goes in motion, one back in the backfield. Can Cleveland get the stop? They're going to hand it to him off the right guard, and he's going to pick up 6 yards on the carry. And again, Ian Wander Boy Wheeler with the carry. 4 carries for 23 yards so far in this one for Ian. So we got 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Cleveland down 14-7, but they are moving the ball. Buffalo's moving the ball. They picked up the first down. They're at about the 34-yard line. They snap the ball. Shane throws it up there, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. And Kyle Allen did an excellent job in the first half as well. He was 10 of 12 for 128 yards passing and a touchdown. So he did his thing for Buffalo earlier. All right, 2nd and 10 here. It's going to be a draw play in which he already had to get past so many defenders just to get to where he got. But Ian Wonderboy Wheeler on the carry picked up 5 yards on the play. Again, 5 carries now for 28 yards. He's looking good out there. He's looking good. I'm sure that this is someone that Mike's got his notepad out watching and evaluating. Let's see. RC said, "What up, JB? You're not showing on my screen. Oh, for real? You're not seeing me on the screen. That is. Oh, I guess JB was a little too laid back, a little too comfortable there. So this should do it better there. 'Cause I was like, I know I'm on the screen now. Let's see. RC says, "Oh man, I never checked my Twitter message." Oh, we know that. We know that. All right, 39. James throwing it up there into the end zone. It's incomplete. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play. If he could have just put a little bit more air up under that one, his receiver would have certainly gone and got that one. And that was Macklin. Jamori Macklin, the intended target. Incomplete. All right, now for the Buffalo Bills to bring out their field goal kicker for a 52-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and the kick, it is barely good. My goodness, that's like slicing bologna there. He just barely got that one, but he got it. I thought it was about to be bad. It looked like it was targeting left, but then it curved in and it worked. So after that 52-yarder by Tyler Bass, the Buffalo Bills lead this one 17-7. Favorite meal between Chinese, Mexican, and Italian. For JB, it's in the order that you listed. It will be Chinese first because that's what I grab most. So Chinese, Mexican food there is a bit heavier for JB. It just feels heavier and stuff like that, you know. And then Italian third there because I mean I haven't had that much Italian, but the bits that I do have it just hasn't been what I'm looking for. Let's see. Archie says, JB, I only ate the pancakes and a few bites of the eggs. You say you're such a picky eater. Now, JB can use some good pancakes now. Pancakes, waffles. JB's overdue. Marcy says he's not really a homemade breakfast kind of guy. Okay, okay. I learn something new every day. He said you're more of a meat and potatoes kind of dude. Okay, okay, okay. I ain't gonna lie now. I mean, honestly, when it comes, I mean, for me, for breakfast and stuff like that, like it can be anything such as like a steamed bun or something like that. That's been pretty good as of late. Um, Back in the day, though, it used to be like pancakes used to be everything. I think it was like swapping from oatmeal to pancake. Occasionally back then, like grits used to be in that rotation as well. See, Samuel says, look at your live stream now. All right. Let me go ahead and take a look into the book. Let's see. But John Watson is going to march back out there. Again, we're here in the third quarter, guys, with about 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Buffalo winning 17-7 over Cleveland. And if you're just tuning in and you're wondering, JB, why is it just the third quarter? We did have a lightning delay that delayed much of the game earlier. Oh, Samuel, you live. Okay. Okay. All right, I see you, Samuel. All right, so we've got after that 1 yard carry there by Marshall, Amani Marshall there for the Cleveland Browns. Picked up a yard. He's got 3 carries a day for a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. Tight end goes in motion, snaps the ball, throws it to the receiver, and the receiver this is my frustration when Deshaun Watson is in the game. And at this point, I don't even know if it's just Deshaun Watson because that's a design play. The play calling when Deshaun Watson is currently in the game, why does it have to be so bad sometimes? Like I just don't understand. That stuff is not working. It's really not working. You're gonna have the same results you've been having over the last couple of years if you walk in there with that same mindset. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, 3rd and 10. This ain't Pac-12 football. That's not going to work. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Man, they sure know how to make it tough on a coach to decide on who to start at quarterback. Is that what's happening? As RC said, and if I do make homemade breakfast, it's gonna be the whole shebang. He's got the bacon, the fried potatoes, hash browns, and toast. I see you, RC. I see you. Samuel says, look now. Oh yeah, I'm still there. I'm still looking. The JB, we beat the Washington Mystics last night, and we held N- Nafisha Collier out for rest. So you did it without fee out there. Impressive. Carson said, "We are linked 31-6 on the season, bro. The only team with less than 10 losses. Now that's impressive. Hey, appreciate the promotion there, Samuel. I am a mod here in Samuel's channel. Oh yeah, appreciate that. Oh, for sure, Samuel, for sure. I did hear something about and like going to 50 games. I wasn't sure if that was official, but that's official, RC, that is going to be going to 50 games. And hey, that means bigger paycheck. That means more TV deals, more endorsements. That's what everybody's, excited about. Right, and again, 3rd quarter, under 7 minutes to go. Buffalo leading this one 17-7. RC says, and more tired bodies. RC, what's going on with some of the beef in the WNBA? Like, I feel like every time there are certain players that just, I don't know, like they get more hate than everybody else. Like, I don't understand it. So maybe you can explain it to someone like myself who really is not in the know right now. But, what's wrong with someone like Sophia Cunningham? Like, what's wrong with her? Like, why are they going after her? Husband said, JB, I had to learn something, bro, to block out the noise and just watch Caitlyn for Caitlyn. Said a lot of people love to beat on her or for anything and everything. I have noticed that as well. I have noticed that as well. I just don't get it. Like this should be an uplifting type of, thing. You're getting the recognition's continuing to grow, the game is growing, everything's going how they wanted it to go for the longest. But every time I look around, it's like it's more fighting, it's more bickering, it's more jealousy, it's more. Not only that, who's the girl that exposed what was it, her ex girlfriend for sleeping with some other chicks on some other teams and something like that. I was like, this is very messy. Like this is not the professional standard that that one should uphold. All right, so here we go. 6:20 to go in the third quarter here. Shane in the pocket, taking another deep shot and misses again. RC brings me back to reality. Says it's women, bro. They're emotional creatures. Brings me back to reality. Third down in the play coming up, 3rd and 8 here in the third quarter with 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go. And again, the Buffalo Bills leading this one 17-7 right now. Can they get a first down? Or will we have to watch more of the Sean? Yeah, so JB's next live stream should be Wednesday for the talk show. So basically, that'd be 9 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday for me, Zoe, Nash, and Old Man to go through for the talk show this Wednesday. Now, my next actual stream, I haven't added or picked the one for Thursday next week just yet because I want to get a preseason game in there Thursday next week. I just haven't chose that one for my next play-by-play, but I do have the Saturday one because I've had the Saturday one up for the longest for the first, college football week, TCU versus North Carolina. RC says he could not and he would not think of another way to say it. He says sometimes the truth hurts. That's the reality. On the way, and brought down at about the 29-yard line. That's where Cleveland will take over with the football here, pending the penalty. Once we find that out, let's see. Samuel says, "Thank you, JB." Of course, Samuel. Archie said, "It's also giving soap opera vibes and circus carnival vibes. And that's not what makes me want to watch WNBA. You say you show up for the sport, not for the antics and drama." And so, yes, completely understand there. Hey, didn't what's her face? Even Kelsey Mitchell was out there losing her cool against it's not I forget her name and stuff like that. But I was just looking, and I was like, oh wow, she hardly ever loses her cool, and that's just wow. All right, so the Falcons finally put the Colts out of their misery and they end the game. Atlanta blowing out Indianapolis 34-6. Wow, Indianapolis should be ashamed of themselves. As RC says, occasionally you check out the Tupac trial bit by bit. End of the day, the ruling of the defendant is never gonna bring Tupac back. That's the point. You're right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Kelsey versus Mabray. So yeah, that was. Yeah. Let's see. She said 34-6. He said, "Wow, did the Colts even play the starters?" I mean, I'm pretty sure that they didn't play anybody of value on offense there. Don't know about defensively how they did that, obviously, but I'm just gonna say no for their sake because if they did and they got beat like that, like that's pretty bad. That's demoralizing. I'm about to say the delay don't pushed us back so far, guys, that we are currently getting ready for the 4 o'clock games to kick off and stuff like that around this time. Like, man, this delay really pushed us back. All right, for their own 19-yard line, speaking of being pushed back, Cleveland play fake. Deshaun throws it over the middle, gets the completion there. His receiver got down low, made the catch, complete. Let's see. RC said they keep playing like that. They're gonna have to move the team to Chicago and call them the Chicago Colts. It wouldn't be the first time the team ran scared from the city. 'They're in the third quarter at 5 minutes and 29 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. Again, Buffalo up 17-7. Samuel says he's out by everyone. And so see you next time. See you next time, Samuel. Again, thanks for coming through, man. Go out there, have fun, take care. Don't do anything JB wouldn't do. And we will see you next time. I see RC said, I'm shocked you didn't cancel out your stream and call it a day, JB. And so, you know, nah. Like, honestly, it was getting to the point where if I had not heard any type of update and stuff like that, I was thinking about switching to another game that was already playing, and then I would just go back and update the stream like logo to reflect it later on. But man, we got notified they were coming back, and I was like, all right, well, since they're coming back, hey, JV can do it. Speaking of can do it, Deshaun Watson showing that he can still run out there. I feel like whenever Watson runs, he doesn't like as long as he gets past that line of scrimmage, he doesn't really take unnecessary hits. Like if you're gonna hit the John Watson, you better get him before he gets to the line of scrimmage. He's gonna protect himself out there. As Pebble says, WNBA is about to have to define who a woman is, and they're in trouble. A no-win situation. You definitely are right about that. At no-win situation for sure. For them because that's basically how they've built their community. They've basically not taken a stance. Say what many people will about the NBA, but the NBA has consistently taken a stance in terms of what they believe and stuff like that. But the WNBA has not had to make that decision, but now they're being pushed to determine and pick a side and stuff like that. You've got, different sides of the audience and stuff. So somebody's gonna be offended. Somebody's gonna be offended. Some side will be offended for sure. Because this is definitely not a category that is easy to win. Watson throws it, bounces off the first tackler there. Excellent job just picking up the 4 yards he did get. As the RC says, Dak Prescott, when he scrambles away like a drunken turkey. Oh, man. RC says, the men who want to play WNBA basketball, they make me sick. So disrespectful. They are trying to make a mockery of things. Yes, yes, yes. And they know exactly what they're doing. We all know what they were doing when they declared that, honestly. Oh, he threw a pick. He threw a pick. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And he's definitely took a shot on that one, but man, he threw a pick. And if you Watson, you can't afford to throw interceptions. I'm gonna tell you why. The difference is if Shador throws interceptions, you know Shador, if he has time in the pocket, he can sling that thing. He can go out there. He might have 2 interceptions on a day, but he's probably going to have 300 something yards passing if you give him a full game and stuff like that, and he gets accustomed to the system more. And then he'll get like one touchdown, maybe two touchdowns with it. But for Watson, his thing has been be conservative, throw it short. That time he had a man underneath. He was trying to do way too much with the football that time. That's a mistake on his part. As she says, "Hey, bot, beat it, sucker." Let's see. RC says, Deshaun and Shador, the Pickologist brothers. The way the way Deshaun Watson is side eyeing Shador and Shador is talking to him like, bruh, I don't need your advice. All right, 2nd and 8 from their own 28-yard line. After the turnover here, Buffalo Bills with the football. They're leading this one 17-7. Play fake. Jane throws it. Here's the completion. Oh, look, he's still running. He's running. There goes that man. And he's running all the way to the farmer's market, guys. That's a touchdown. Wow. Shane has been taking some deep shots in this one, but he's been off. But this time he put just enough and got it right. If you keep letting a man take shots, eventually he's going to find him. And man, when he broke free, like, look at it. Nice catch there. DB, what kind of angle was that, number 41? Not only did you miss the tackle, but you slowed down your teammate from potentially making a tackle too. What kind of safety are you? He's got get the axe. It's time to cut him. He's got to get cut. The point is good. So now Buffalo up 24-7 in this one. Man, Todd Monken is thinking he ain't never had to work so hard in his life to try to get some quarterbacks to look competent out there on the field. Like this is big. As the RC says, JB, I feel like they are going to prevent Cleveland from becoming anything, especially Deshaun, maybe the Shador. And so, oh man, this is not what you want. I mean, as he Pebble says, if you're a Cleveland fan, this isn't giving you confidence. Not at all. Not at all. Because I mean, not at all. With Deshaun, I always wonder, can he throw beyond 12, 13 yards consistently? Does he put enough zip on it? But you got to protect the football field too, because you don't bring the upside that having Shador would bring. And for Shador, the turnovers are exactly the problem. That and then the fact that you still got to show the team that you're mature enough for that leadership thing. But man, Watson, I came into today thinking that Watson had secured, the starting job in my mind based upon last game performance, and that all he had to do was not lose it. This is what I would call losing it if he continues to struggle. Arthur said, JB, if I can be honest, you say me becoming an official Lynx fan saved my sanity, that and blocking out the daily Caitlyn haters. All right, meanwhile, on the carry here. So it gets to the point you're down 24-7 here. You just gotta get a little carries there, let the offense get into a little bit of a rhythm here, and then see what happens. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, what NFL team do you see shocking the world this season? There has to be at least one team that comes to mind for me. When I think of teams that's going to surprise teams this year, I don't want it to be true because obviously I'm a Patriots fan and this team is, in our division. But part of me is thinking, what if the Miami Dolphins are not as bad as people think? Obviously, I know they moved on from Tyreek Hill. They moved on from Waddle. They traded him. They brought in Malik Willis. And Malik Willis, if he can play kind of like what we saw when he came in games for the Green Bay Packers last season, you got someone that believes in you and stuff. I know the weapons are a bit of an unknown, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. And plus, Malik Willis can use his legs and stuff. They got Achon in the backfield too. Unsure how good this defense actually is, personally, to be honest, but I feel like they may not be as bad as I originally thought that they were going to be and stuff like that. It just comes down to Malik Willis. So if I had to say a team that has the potential and stuff like that, it could end up being them. Let's see. So Watson up under center here, around 44-yard line. Two receivers, two tight ends, one back. Play fake. Watson throws it, gets the completion there to the receiver, and the receiver has to do the work here. And so, again, this adds to my frustration and stuff like that because they're not doing this when Shador's in the game. They're not doing this. But this whole play fake, just to throw these quick pop passes, man, that stuff does not win you big games. You're trying to find the best quarterback that gives you the best chance to win big games and so forth. And these passes right here, like you got to be able to air it out a little bit better. If you are going to go where the Browns want to go and where the Brown fans deserve to have an opportunity to go to, you're going to need more than that type of play calling. I guess my biggest pet peeve right now with the John Watson, the football player, has to be the coaching staff has so little confidence in his deep ball ability that the play calling it gets dumbed down. It really gets dumbed down to where if it's not over the middle, then it's something that, too short of a pass. As Archie says, you like Malik Willis, but don't know the protection around him will be, and they really need tons of help in many different departments and stuff. The offense line is the major question. I cannot deny that. Let's see. RC says, I also can't tell you that Willis shouts franchise quarterback capabilities, JB. I'm going to say this about my man Malik Willis. When he got drafted at the NFL draft, I remember because we was all psyched about, him coming from Liberty and stuff like that, but he was not ready to play the position of quarterback. He really was not. He was purely a runner. That's all he was. When I say no passing abilities, cliche police may arrest me, but he had no passing abilities coming out of college. None. But he developed it. He took it in stride. And I gained a lot of respect from Malik Willis, how he handled his situation in Tennessee. Most people would be bitter. Most people would be hurt and stuff like that. But he carried himself with a professionalism that I hadn't seen since probably a Tim Tebow level back in the day for a quarterback that knew that he probably wasn't going to be on the field a lot. And then from there, when he went to Green Bay, nothing but kind things to say about Tennessee. And he learned. And that's what you want from a young quarterback, someone that can come in and learn, and he's learning. So I have no doubt in Malik Willis' ability if they gave him some stuff around him, but he has little stuff around him. But hey, I think, Malik Washington can have a breakout year. Chris Bell, I think, could do pretty good. You know, they're going to have to use a lot of tight ends and stuff, but the offensive line is a major issue, major issue. But we're just got to see. You asked me to pick a really dark horse. It don't get no much darker than that. That's about as dark a horse as I can think of that still has the potential. Let's see. I sure did, didn't I? I sure did. All right, he said his favorite thing to do in YouTube shorts because you can always find time to drop shorts in just 1 to 3 minute spans. He said, I honestly struggle with live stream timing and with long form videos. I am hit or miss. I feel you there, but Jay, I don't know. I just never conform to the entire like shorts thing for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just that classic stuck on default settings there. But shorts have annoyed me more than I have found like any type of thing. Because to me, I feel like it's kind of, and I hate to say it this way, but it feels like cheating the game for me. It's like you just go up there like a minute or two or three. I mean, that's probably good for like player signings and stuff like that. But I like to, go up there and put on a show. If we're gonna do the show, let's do the show and stuff like that. And also, it helps the watch hours a lot more too when it comes to that. But that's something that JB's got to eventually work on. And again, guys, we are here in the fourth quarter of this game here. With Buffalo leading 24-7 over the Cleveland Browns. But of course, Cleveland, they're playing a different game right now. They are evaluating these quarterbacks here before the third preseason game next week. They want to have an idea in terms of who do they feel gives them the best chance to win. Let's see. She said, JB, another content creator, was telling me just be consistent with live streams and people will show up eventually if you keep consistent. Let's see. I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement. If you do it consistently with the live streams, eventually it will happen. It just comes down to what type of audience do you want to attract, I feel like. I feel like if you go for shorts and shorts is how you get your audience, you're going to get those people that they expect a lot of videos, but not too much context. Like their attention span won't be that long and stuff like that. But if you're going to do live streams and stuff like that, now some will, subscribe and you may not never see them again. Like JV's got over 2,000 subscribers. When I go live, we don't see that we're, constantly in the 2000s, every stream. So it's still going to be a handful there, but the just determine, I guess, what audience sets the tone for the type of channel that you have built or that you want, to continue to build and stuff like that. And that points you in a direction in terms of where you should invest more and stuff. If you want more interactions, then yeah, live streaming is probably the best way to go for a more interactive type of stream, you know. Just my 2 cents. As he says, I'm also not completely entirely sold on Bo Nix. He's good, but tell us just how good. Bo Nix, in my humble opinion, is, obviously he's orchestrating a very good Broncos team. But it's because he's on that very good Broncos team that I feel like he's had the success that he had. Why do I say that? Last year I felt like I was watching two sides of the same coin when I watched the Philadelphia Eagles offense last year and when I watched the Denver Broncos offense last year. Both of them had mobile quarterbacks that did just enough to win. They did not both utilize their number one receivers to their full capabilities in Courtland Sutton and AJ Brown. And the offense has left a lot to be desired, but people would say that they got a lot of talent on offense there. To me, Bo Nix is good, but he should never be mentioned as a top 10 quarterback at this time. The only thing that will elevate him is if he turns out to truly be a clutch quarterback consistently, then maybe that's where he finds his niche. And plus, he can, move and run. But it seems like they're not trying to have him do that too much if they can avoid it. Let's see. Was he good enough to beat the Pats if healthy? No. I'm going to say no because the weather was the X factor in that matchup. If there was no weather, then yes, the Broncos probably would have. But the weather was the X factor in that matchup. I stand on that one. Speaking of stand on that one, Watson not getting it done. Watson incomplete. Oh my goodness. I just feel so bad for the Cleveland fans. Like, they deserve so much better at the quarterback position. And this is what I mean, they went the whole offseason and determined that this would be the best case. Let these guys come back and compete for what? Just because you got two quarterbacks. I mean, that's like saying as a teacher, like, oh, I'm just gonna, choose a student with the highest grade. If both students are these students, they're both bad. Both quarterbacks they're just bad. Like Cleveland it's just bad. I get it. You invested in Deshaun. He's been hurt. You hoping that he came back. No, it's not working. Let's see. I said, JB, I might be your WNBA boy, but I can talk a little bit of football too. There you go. I remember when you bust out, all them OGs and stuff like that on that other stream. JB's not forgotten. Let's see. RC says, my complete shock, the league team this season, I feel like could be the Saints. You said, man, I don't even know. I mean, the Saints were already on my radar in terms of a team that I feel like could win the division. Because you look around the division and stuff like that. I mean, Atlanta's got its flaws, whether it's Tua, whether it's Michael Penix Jr. and stuff like that. Byjon's got to do a lot to keep them in a competitive spot, but they're too inconsistent. Atlanta's too inconsistent. Last year they beat the Buffalo Bills, but they couldn't even beat the teams in their division enough to win the division and stuff like that. Carolina, I just don't like their upside. They're a hard, scrappy team. I get that, but I just don't like the upside of that team. To me, Bryce Young is only holding this team back and stuff like that, in my humble opinion. But Tyler Shaw, I do believe in Tyler Shaw. I do. It's just a matter of Chris Olave. Can he stay healthy? They need him to stay healthy and not get concussed this year. That's a big part of their offense. And then they brought in Travis Etienne. They still have Alvin Kamara, so the run game should be better. The Saints were not, bad. They've always been competitive. But I just feel like as Tyler Shaw, if he can pick up where he left off at, the Saints could win that division. And so Mike, Magic Mike says checking in. Thoughts. My thoughts in this one is simple. That Ian Wheeler guy that you guys got, Mike, I do like him. I do like his effectiveness when he was in the game for his 6 carries for 30 yards there. Sheffield at receiver. Oh man, big fan of him. Big fan of him and what he's been doing out there, especially early on when Kyle Allen was in the game. Kyle Allen looked pretty good there also earlier today. So on Buffalo's side, I like what I've seen from them. Now Cleveland, oh man, I don't like what I'm seeing at all from Deshaun Watson. Like I didn't love what I was seeing from Sanders for the most part, although I know he was 9 of 11 for 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But I'm just thinking about, overall this game, last game, since I did stream Cleveland again last week also, it's a lot. It leaves a lot to be desired. I see Mike says, JB reroute Shador. He said reroute Ian Wheeler. And he says the Panthers will win it. I don't think the Panthers are going to win it again this year. I just don't think that they're going to win it again this year. Before I say Carolina will win it, I will say that Tampa Bay will get it. And Baker's got his back against the wall. Baker's going to need something. But I'll tell you what, I think Mbuka is going to have a huge year this year. Personal opinion. I feel Mbuka's going to have a huge year this year. The only reason JB's not harping about it that much right now is simply the fact that I still got to wait for my fantasy football draft for sure. Let's see. Pebble says most NFL quarterbacks take 4 to 5 years in the league to hopefully become an elite player. And so, sometimes it takes that long. Sometimes it takes even longer. Sometimes the best ability is to stay in the league for a long time. Think about quarterbacks like Josh McCown. When Josh McCown, early in his career, when he took over after Jeff Blake with the Arizona Cardinals, and that first year was not good. They ended up replacing him after that 1 year. Fast forward after, I've seen him have some pretty good years, particularly when the Chicago Bears made what I feel like was a huge mistake years ago, back when they had Jay Cutler injured for most of the season and Josh McCown was having a great year. It finally was coming together for him, and you can tell Ryan Fitzpatrick, same thing. If you hang around long enough in this league, eventually it starts to come to you. And so those are two good examples I feel like for me. But the Bears made a mistake. They should have played Josh McCown over an injured Jay Cutler, because who is Jay Cutler anyways, really? Like, in all honesty, he didn't do anything for the franchise that great anyways. But yeah, you're right about that. It takes time. But we live in a society where the coaches know they don't have 4 or 5 years. The GMs know they don't have 4 or 5 years. So they're going to give you 4 or 5 weeks, 4 or 5 months to go out there and try to show it. And then afterwards, they're going to call you a Desmond Ritter, say you're done. So it's tough out here. Oh man, goes out of bounds there. Did he fall over the coach? I mean, my goodness. I'm looking at that Miami game there. That's insane. Let's see. She says, what happened to what's his name on New Orleans? Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler Is Spencer Rattler in competition for the backup quarterback spot at this point? I know he's still with the Saints. But I'm trying to think. Was that him that was the backup that was competing or something? But good old Spence. I remember once upon a time people thought he was going to end up being the first quarterback taken in the draft many moons ago. I was about to say they're showing a good bit of this Dolphins and Giants game here. Don't tell me that they just. I know they didn't take off the Bills and the Browns before it was done. Tell if anybody else, because I can't hear the audio, but if anybody else is looking at this, did they actually switch the game or no? Let's see. Mike says this is absolute make or break season, Bryce. He goaded one week and bad next, and vice versa. Bryce, you are too short, bro. In my humble opinion, what I have against the Carolina Panthers is this, all right? I have come to the conclusion that sometimes this thing called chemistry, it all comes together throughout the course of a season. This is why week to week they say don't peak too early. Carolina, they peaked at kind of at about the right time where you want to start peaking and stuff. But that was purely momentum based. That's not something that you wake up the next year and you carry it over to the next year. And if I hear Panther fans talk about Xavier Levitt stepping up one more time, I might have to choke him myself, Mike, because it's not going to happen. He is who he has been so far. I've got absolutely zero faith that he's going to step up this year. I'm tired of waiting on it. I'm tired of waiting on it. And as for Bryce, he better show up this year. This is it. If he don't show up this year, man, this is it. This is it. Like he came in such high expectations. Like I like his demeanor at times, but he's small. He's not a quarterback that goes out there and throws, 300 yards or anything like that. He just does enough. You're going to need a run game with him. You're going to need a defense with him. You're going to need a couple big time plays that can get yards after the catch for him. You're going to need an excellent play. You got to do all this stuff to baby him to resemble what he had at Alabama to help him get to this point and stuff like that. But I'll say this, being able to stay healthy is gonna also be something important as well. I don't know who the backup quarterback is, but I'm hoping that it's still not Andy Dalton. Somebody let me know who the backup quarterback is, and it better not be Andy Dalton. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Mike says May looks so cocky again this year. Pats fans picked the right one. Oh, come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Drake May. He's not that type of person. He may look cocky, but deep down, he's like any one of us. All right, so Wheeler off the right guard for 3 yards there. Looks like they are currently. So the Buffalo Bills want to score again. They got first and goal at the Cleveland 5-yard line. Under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Let's see. Mike says, JB, let's revisit. I think Panthers get 10 wins. And so you got the Panthers winning 10 games. What's the opposite of that in today's I got the Carolina Panthers winning 7 games this year, Mike. If you've got them winning 10, I got them winning 7 this year. So let's see who's closer to being right when it's all said and done. But I got Carolina winning 7 this year. Because I think the way that they were winning last year, that was more so just momentum. It may not show back up. And so Mike says, do you have I do have well, I'm actually not monetized at this second. So I think that disabled my memberships at this time if I'm not. Yeah, I think it's because of my watch hours. I don't have enough watch hours right now. So until I get my watch hours up, I think that it did disable my membership if I'm not wrong. And so Zoe, what's good? Oh man, how are we today? My guy in the Zoe. How did your Vikings finish that one, man? I had to fight this whole, like the lightning delay and stuff, but how did your team perform today? Oh man, let's see. And what were your thoughts about the preseason game that you guys played today? Let's see. RC says, JB, this score sounds about right for a Browns game. Come on, RC. It's still the preseason. Let's see. Mr. JB says the Dolphins and the Giants this scheduled for this time. Yeah, the Dolphins and the Giants. Yeah, they are scheduled for this game. But you know how JB likes to do. JB likes to attempt to finish out the game. So even if JB can't see the game, I can still see the stats. So I can still sound as if I'm watching the game. But I do see that the Buffalo Bills scored yet another touchdown. Shane went insane out there on a 5-yard scramble for a touchdown. He kept it himself. He said, "Look at me. I can do it too, Josh Allen. This one's for you." Let's see. Mike says Xavier Leggett or Keon Coleman more likely to get good. I believe more in Keon Coleman because I feel like for Keon Coleman, his problem is simply maturity. Now, I don't know if he's matured over the offseason. I wasn't around him over the offseason. But if he realized, and I hope that he has people in his corner that just say, hey, bro, that stuff you were going on with you last year mentally, we can't have that. You're not on an Antonio Brown level to be acting like an Antonio Brown over there and stuff like that. Like you got to keep your head about yourself and stay focused on football. Go out there and earn that second contract. But I do have more faith in Keon Coleman's ability. I think Josh Allen still believes in him, and Josh Allen's going to give him opportunities to make bigger plays. Meanwhile, Xavier Leggett, he's going to be running 3-yard plays, 5-yard plays, dropping passes for 7 yards, and not getting separation. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. I look at his game, he ain't got it. He was just one of those college players that was good. Chalk him up a little bit, but a little bit above Tavon Austin back in the day and stuff like that. Minus the speed, obviously different style of receiver, but in terms of just, hey, you came in, you had expectations, you never lived up to it. But Keon Coleman, I'm still believing that he can, I can see a path for him to actually get good. Let's see. RC said, JB, do you let's see, do I like Rico Dollar to the Steelers? Could that become very underrated move? I do like the move of Rico going to the Steelers. Matter of fact, that was the best place for him to go because Aaron Rodgers, all he wants is to control the clock, slow things down. Now, obviously, in past situations, and they still got Jalen Warren, so it's still going to be a running back by committee like he had in Carolina. The difference is Carolina, they wanted the hot hand to keep running the ball. If they're in a situation where they need to run the ball, they may just give the ball to Rico by default. And I feel like Rico is going to do good. But for fantasy football purposes, I still value Jalen Waddle because I'm talking about Jalen Warren. I'm tripping. Jalen Warren at the running back position. But both guys are going to eat this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if one guy goes down, like if you're telling me that Warren's going to go down for a couple of weeks, look out because Rico's got that big boom type of, mentality about him. The more hits he get, the better he gets in the game. There are very few running backs like that. All right, so meanwhile for Cleveland, trailing 31-7 in the fourth quarter, and they're facing a 1st and 20 after a false start in the offense. So they're just going the wrong direction. The wrong direction. Mike says, excellent Bryce take in my opinion. Appreciate that. Let's see. RC says, he was good for your Cowboys and the Panthers too. And so yeah. So I think him going to the Steelers, that's pretty good there. They certainly can use that to make up for what they did lose, and Kenneth Gainswell leaving. Let's see, Mike says, I want my quarterback cocky. You said it means he's a winner. That means he knows it. He knows it. Let's see, Mike says Dalton backs up the great Jalen. Oh, that's right. He is down there in Philly. Andy Dalton is down there in Philly. Ooh, Jalen Hurts, please stay healthy all season. The last thing we need is to see that offense with Andy Dalton running it. Like, hey, I guess he still want to collect some checks. That's got to be what it is. How long has it been since Andy Dalton was a legitimate starting quarterback? Somebody remind JB, what was it last year that Andy Dalton actually started in this league, as in he came into the season as the starter? I know it's been a minute, but my brain can't tell me when exactly it was. Let's see. Mike says that Dalton is horrible. So is Tanner McGee. Tanner still. I don't know who he's blackmailing in that organization to still be getting these opportunities. That's right. Kenny Pickett backs up. Right. That's right. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett. Last season, did Kenny Pickett spend time with the Raiders? I think. But yeah, I'm okay with Kenny Pickett backing up Bryce. Let's see. Brayhawk says Browns getting blowed out and it's just preseason. Yeah, it got bad. It got bad. It got so bad they took him off the TV thing. So JB's just still here. Oh man, they're 3rd and 25, bruh. 3rd and 25 for Cleveland. Like, oh my goodness. You know what? Take out if Watson's in, take him out. Take him out. I've seen enough. I'll make the decision for them. We need to put in Talon Green, that kid from Arkansas. I want to see him finish out the game on their behalf. At least some type of hope. The fans need some kind of hope, man. This is bad. And the worst part is Dylan Gabriel's even worse than that. He's even worse than that. Let's see. Mike says Browns give it up. It's over. Mike, you guys are taking no prisoners. I see. No pity. RC says maybe he's cocky. Perhaps. All right. Let's see. Mike says JJ or Murray. It's over, bro. And so, I mean, it's got to be Murray. It's got to be Murray. My thoughts on JJ McCarthy is that I thought I was just being biased. I really thought I was being biased because I gave the Minnesota Vikings scouting department the benefit of the doubt when it came to JJ McCarthy. And then when he showed the one little preseason game that he did his rookie year, blah, 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 and stuff like that, I was like, okay, maybe I was just being biased. Because to me, he did nothing at the college level that told me that he'd be a good passer of the football and stuff like that. To me, it was all about the handoff. That's why we call him the handoff merchant. It was all about the handoffs. He had so much talent around him on the offensive line. They had so many running backs that year in the backfield as well. And then he just threw a couple passes because everybody's gearing up to stop the run. To me, I'm like, how you think he's going to go out there and be able to feed a man like Justin Jefferson? He never had a Justin Jefferson in his life. Not even at the collegiate level, something equivalent to that. All he did was hand the ball off. And y'all thought he's gonna come in there and be the guy, be the man? Come on, man. This ain't even about Michigan and stuff like that. This is simply about the scheme wasn't a good fit. He showed me nothing, absolutely nothing that would told me this is going to translate to the NFL and really, other than just be a handoff type of guy. That's what RC said. Brayhawk, wave your magic wand. Dang it, and get Kirk Perez fired at Iowa. Nah, let him stay. Let him stay. He keeps them ranked and stuff like that, and he's no threat to us at Ohio State. So keep him there. All right. Again, Buffalo up 31-7. They've got the football after a punt from the Cleveland Browns. And again, up 24 points with about 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in that matchup. Let's see, Mike says, it's the good cocky as opposed to scared and lacking confidence. Let's see. Mike says, JB don't quit. He said, let's go. I'm Team Keon. And so, yeah, I mean, I can still see that path. That path is still there. That path is still there. Let's see. Mike says, right. AJ Brown can ask like he's AJ freaking Brown. Like, recognize it. As RC said, I think the Patriots should sign Andy Dalton. Come on now. Come on now, RC. Let's not do that. He said, does Mingo get cut? Ooh. I have not heard anything about Mingo. I'm gonna have to assume yes. Like we got to get rid of you got to get rid of all these discounted versions of receivers. Go out there and get this man some real talent. Let's do that. Let's go out there and get this man some real talent. You did draft Ted. Ted McMillan. I love that, and I feel like as he continues to get older, by year 3, 4, and 5, Ted McMillan will be the real deal. I just wonder if Bryce is the one that's holding him back at this point. Right? Says Rico was the best first few weeks, then completely faded out. Really returned? Yes, because it was not Rico's fault why I feel like he faded. and stuff like that. Clearly, Carolina coaching staff was not too fond of Rico wanting to be the guy and stuff like that. So even though they may have let him start at some games, they had no choice. The man was running for 300 something yards, 200 something yards. He was running like a madman, but then they wanted to get their boy in there, Hubbard. They wanted to get him in there. And so took away the rug from under his feet. Nothing you can do in that situation there if they're going to play favorites. So he was right to move on and go to Pittsburgh. I know he wasn't happy there towards the end because they wasn't letting him just go out there and ball out. If I'm a coach and you mean to tell me 2, 3 games in a row, you're going to go out there and get 200 plus, I'm going to keep riding the hot hand. That's what I'm going to do. Mike says 2017 was Dalton's swan song. 2017. Mike says, what is Watson doing? What is he doing? What's the whole Cleveland Browns team doing right now? That's what I need to know. What is he doing? Let's see. Mike says, note to quarterbacks, be sick to or retire. Mike says, JJ never was good. That's right. Never, man. Like, never. Like, that's why when people ask me, is JJ McCarthy, is he a bust? I say, how can one be a bust when one never had potential, never had height? He never had it in him. Like, I don't know why you know what? How many quarterbacks were taken before he was taken in the first round that year? Was it like, was he the fifth quarterback taken? Because I know quite a few quarterbacks were taken. All the good ones were taken. Minnesota needed somebody. There was nobody left at that point. And so they ended up making that mistake. You just can't do that. You can't do that. I don't understand that. You just simply can't do that. Not when you had a team that, consisted already of like Sam Darnold there. They had Daniel Jones practicing as well. They had to see that he had, some potential. That'd have been a better path than to go and take this guy in the first round just to say you drafted somebody in the first round. Was he drafted before Bo Nix also, or was Bo Nix after McCarthy was drafted? All right, so I know Buffalo is out there trying to run out this clock and do the fans a favor. Let's see, Deshaun Watson's night's already over. So Deshaun Watson finished 5 of 12 for 35 yards passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception. 35 yards passing is what you get from a quarterback. And again, Sanders had at least 74 with one less attempt. Like, bruh, like what? Dylan Gabriel's in there. I don't even know why he's still on the team. He's just wasting reps at this point. Give these meaningful reps to somebody else. It's insane. I see Frank Gore Jr. out there, 9 carries, 54 yards, longest run of 18 yards. I see him. And shout out to Buffalo quarterbacks. Both of them went out there, threw a touchdown, haven't turned the ball over. That's all you can ask for from your backup quarterbacks, irregardless of who they're going against. Let's see, Mike says the Bears winning that division. Let's see. Mike says, friendly reminder, we 2 bye weeks and 18 games. Let's see, Mike says, I was saying 2 preseasons, but why not keep 3? And so that's going to be official for like next season? Let's see, Mike says, Eagles be warned, A.J. Brown is a training wheels. Will Lemon be there to play O-line with Smith? And so I'll tell you what though, Mekhi Lemon, I'm interested in seeing what he does, just based upon Jalen Hurts' style, I feel like a guy like Lemon should do fine. I think Smith's gonna definitely step up, become that number one guy, but you just can't be an AJ Brown. AJ Brown is a physical, dominant presence. There are very few receivers that have that type of presence. Him, DK Metcalf, and stuff like that, where these are just physical phenoms that just go up there and impose their will in the DB to get the ball as long as you give them an opportunity. RC said JB is a super Ryan Tannehill fan. Oh, never. JB could never. Could never. Let's see, Mike says Bo Nix is coming along good. Let's see, Mike says, nice stats. If that's enough, maybe you should go out there, JB. I mean, they need an emergency quarterback. I guess I am he is gonna have to be. Might just put RC back there at quarterback though. Let's see, Mike says along with Smith. You said no, I want 18, but not officially. Oh, I was about to get excited, Mike. I do want 18 games. I'm not gonna lie, I'm selfish. I want one more. NFL players get paid a lot, yada yada yada. Increase the rosters for game days, add that second bye week and stuff like that. Let's do it. Let's make it work. Let's make it work. JB would almost be in favor of adding a third bye week if it meant that we can extend the season a little bit more and have more football and keep guys rested because two bye weeks, that's good. You get one a game, two bye weeks. Yeah, but if we can add a third one and it makes everybody a lot more healthy to where we just have less season-ending injuries and stuff like that, then that's what I'm for. And so, is there? Yes, there is a 2-minute warning at the preseason level. Correct. Let's see. Mike says, I don't think Eagles realize how good Brown is. Mike, I don't think they don't realize how good Brown is. I just think that the Eagles realize that with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback, they don't have the capacity to maximize Brown's talent. So basically, you've got somebody out there, but the way that we have to call plays, the way that Jalen Hurts processes plays, the way that we have to be run first, we simply cannot maximize Brown to keep him happy. To have they just couldn't do it. They tried to get Jalen Hurts. I mean, as much as I love Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, and I still view him as someone that's capable of getting it done. But we really going to find out this year. Throwing it to AJ Brown, feeding a target like that is not in his strong suit. It's just not. It's just not. He'd be much better at this point with focusing on feeding your tight end first and foremost. Get a ball to Smith and just not have that pressure. Be run first. Him, Saquon, do y'all things on the leg here with your legs and stuff. But yeah, they could, so it's not that they didn't recognize Brown's talent; they just didn't have the capacity to maximize it because that is one of Jalen Hurts' limitations. I think I said Brown was my number one last 2 years before last. Let's see. RC says, "What the heck is San Francisco quarterback name again? You talking about Brock Purdy?" Let's see. Mike says Mac Jones. Oh man. Let's see. RC said, never mind. It's Brock. I'm always injured. Purdy. Let's see. Mr. JB is trying to say that AJ Brown is getting old now. Of course, he'll say that. All right. And just a heads up, the game is finalized. So Buffalo beat the Browns 31-7, and what many would call a slaughterhouse type of beatdown. So I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. I just don't have the words to describe it. Elite Shador threw a touchdown today. So 9 of 11, so high completion percentage, 74 yards there, one touchdown, one interception. But Deshaun Watson just looked horrible. He was great last week. He looked horrible today. He's really making the coaching staff have to really discuss this one because I mean jobs are on the line. You make the wrong decision, and sometimes they're both wrong decisions, by the way. But this is bad. As the architect says, wait, Mac Jones is the backup though, still in San Francisco? Yeah, he's the backup. See, Mike says, yeah, as long as the rest of the team's playing to entertain me, bye week away. Let's see, Mike says, AJ Brown's the most dangerous quarterback with he ran. And you said if you actually contain him, then kills you running. And so let's see. Mike says, Mr. JB, AJ is in his prime. Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him. He's still, recovering from the Atlanta Falcons beating down those Colts the way that they did for that preseason matchup. So talk to him. RC says, appreciate the live stream, play-by-play, and conversations, JV. Yeah, I don't know how I did it today. I really don't know how I did it. Between the lightning delay and stuff like that, then them leaving the game in the fourth quarter, leaving us to fend for ourselves to finish this stream and stuff. So even though we didn't stay too focused on the game because it's 31-7, but I still stayed, as I always do, to the game is final. So appreciate you guys for coming through. Let's see, Mike says, bribes do better. Mike says, thanks, JV. Thank you. RC says, have a good rest of your day. You too, RC. Let's see, Mike says, Hurts, most dangerous quarterback. Oh, yeah, when he starts moving, for sure. For sure. But yeah, JB's got to go and run some errands now. But thank you guys for coming through. Enjoy the rest of the day. Don't do anything that JB wouldn't do. Again, thanks so much for coming through, guys. You guys are the real MVP. JB's next stream is scheduled for the talk show Wednesday with me, Nash, Old Man, and also in the Zoe for next Wednesday. And my next personal stream, I already got Saturday for next week. That's gonna be our first college football one. I just gotta pick one for Thursday sometime before my stream on Wednesday. But with that being said, guys, JB signing out. Thanks for coming through and see you guys next time.